Did not want to go to languages. Interesting. Try to hit paste. Should just stick to Control V. Should have known. Ugh. Let it rock here for a bit. Why not? Fuck it. Then it'll actually give me a chance to wake up a little bit. We're here. It's exalted. What's going on, brother? Whew. I'll take this time to actually clear out my shit in Arknights, and then we'll get started. Alright. Let's go. And we're starting off with the end of not only this chapter, but the end of this game. Episode 5, Turnabout Ablaze, and Part 1. And it kind of looks like we're picking up right where we left off. Excuse me. What's up, Seabay? March 15th, 12:07 a.m., Theatrum Neutralis lobby. So, thinking back on it, the only person that I 100% suspect at this moment is is Ambassador Alba, strictly because it looked like he was it looks like he hasn't been shown in any respect to the crime scene of what's that shit, fucking Babal, but he has enough reason to say that he was presenting himself an alibi. He claimed that the Adrasu was showing when if he was the one that saw the shadow of the Adrasu, he would have known exactly what it was because he was looking out into the entirety of the Rose Garden. In addition to that, the we learned last time that the calling cards for the Adrasu, they're also the directives cards from the head of the smuggling ring. Obligatory burn your damn resources comments. What's up, Jushi, CJ, Hyperion? I've been burning my shit, Hyperion. I've been getting a whole bunch of 5 stars that I do not need. I ended up getting another MG5 going for Type 88. I hate how much better the monitor looks than anything else. What you mean? The TV right there? It's just got a shine on it. It's got a VHS player there. But yeah, the fucking ambassador literally has multiple things pointing to him for being the true culprit and working together with the what's the shit the with what's her name now, it's not Callisto, it's not Sheena, the last Yatagarasu member, I guess technically, at least Cores, am I right? Yeah, that's true. But I ended up getting Type 88. I ended up getting Suomi. I think I'm gonna try to go for G36C because I haven't gotten her yet, but for a later date. What's up, Lord DC? By the way, Ultra Bub, Crash. Let's go ahead and get it started. Yeah, so we found out last time that the Autograsso ended up being both, or not both, but rather all of the people that were working the KG8 incident. Uh, Callisto U, Burn Faraday, and Detective Bad. Assumably, Detective Bad has been brought to the station, and Gumshoe is back now. But as for right now, we're trying to figure out who the actual culprit in the murder is. So we're back at it, and Edgeworth and Franziska, of course, are the ones thinking, well, Gumshoe just stands there. So now we know who the Yatagarasu really was, and yet there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved. Like how the weapons cross the country lines, for example. The two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry protocols. Normal rate up ends tonight, hopefully you get her. Still need her too. My EQs are about to get roided up tomorrow. Hey, fuck it. If I get what I get, honestly, at this point. I picked up a KSG last night, so now the only real shotguns that I'm looking for are Saiga and FP6. So, don't matter for me none. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in, huh? We will need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. But before we do, I'd like to go through my evidence once more. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Hey, there's a VCR here, sir. Let's see what we got still. We've got the badge, the embassy guide, notes on Cochin's body, because that's still what we need to figure out, right? The Yatagarasu key, the Alabastian knife, the Cadopian paper document, those statues, I assume we have both. Counterfeit bills still. We got the spear. Yeah, we still have both statues. Damascus Second's note. We still have these passion flowers. Now, this is probably going to be the biggest thing that leads me to suspect the ambassador from Alabast. Just because why did this become a clue, right? Why did this become anything that we need in our organizer? We still have the samurai dogs, that guitar pick, the fountain, the picture of the Yatagarasu flying. We have the fires, the wire, the revolving fireplace wall, hair sticks, because these hair sticks said they had soil on the end of them, right? And the only other place that we know prominently with soil is the planter for the passion flowers. So, potentially something weird there. We have the trump card, and we have the videotape. Now, the trump card was not the Yatagarasu card. It was it's the actual, like, the first, like, symbol card, if that makes sense, because the Great Thief Yatagarasu group was using the inverse of these cards to actually move around and send messages back like, hey, we're on to you. We're gonna be figuring out exactly how to expose you and shit like that for the smuggling ring, but it seems they never got to do that, as all of them are under arrest now. But we do have this VHS tape. Hopefully we get to see what is on it. Now we can see what's on that tape Detective Bad gave us. This piece of evidence from the KG8 incident hidden from sight for 10 long years. I just know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us. Sure thing, sir. Alright. Be kind, rewind. Okay. This man, it's Manny Cochin. And it looks like he's pulling up into somebody's building with a knife and the fucking trump card in hand. And he's holding a knife in his hand. This looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building. Well, good shit, Franziska. I guess you've seen a lot of that. An apartment building? How do you figure that? Unlike you, I actually read the summary file. I actually read the summary file on the KG8 incident. And the crime scene was the victim's own apartment. So this footage was shot at the entrance to the victim's own apartment building. At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of footage existed. However, no one could find it. Yes, somehow someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Amano. I can see how this would have been a definitive piece, and why someone would want to hide it. But it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case that we're working on now, sir. Actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. The ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it. Which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader. Where? Stop fast forward, just let it play, Gumshoe. Wait, what was that? Huh? That bit you played just now. Please show it to me again. Somebody pulling up in the whip. Oh. And you see how it, see how it has the, Cadopian, I assume it's the Cadopian, flags on the front of the car. It's pretty neat. This car, this is something we cannot overlook. Why's that, sir? Look here, Detective Gumshoe. Yeah. This is the national flag of the Principality of Cadopia. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this to be an official government car. But the question is, the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government car doing there? Ah, yes, the bitch I'm on to. Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth, so you were here all this time. Ambassador Alba, thank you very much for continuing the investigation, even at this time of night. If only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would never have happened. I am truly sorry. This wasn't your fault, sir. This had nothing to do with how careful you were. Idiot Quercus, you couldn't chase after a simple thief. Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that? Why would you want me to do that? Excuse me. I've heard you apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down. And we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. We can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away. So I hope that you can understand how I feel. But we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues. Why don't we leave the rest to the Alabastian and Babalese police? Yeah, no, this doesn't make you look suspicious at all. Ambassador, we are so close. Just a little more and... Miss Von Karma, I'm afraid I've made up my mind. And without my permission, you can't proceed with your investigation anyway, right? That's true, however... As I said at the very beginning, this area is considered to be Alabastian soil. In which case, we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where our investigation ends? Hold it. Shifu, we found Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Shifu, this way. Yo. You're recovering from your gunshot wound rather quickly. Agent Lang, you're back on the scene rather quickly. If I laid back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. Agent Lang, why have you returned? Because I have to solve this case no matter what. Well, I'm sorry to inform you. And don't take this the wrong way. I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of Interpol was just found to be a thief, so... I mean... That doesn't mean all members... You're using a very cherry-picked example on all Interpol agents now. Over there, Alba. Under these circumstances, I wish to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable. He just got shot an hour ago and he's already back. Yeah, he got shot in the fucking leg and was like, you know what? We ain't done here. At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close. Ambassador Alpha, I get it now. I really do. I'm very glad you understand how I feel. No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer behind tonight's murder is. You... No, the killer? Do you really mean that, Agent Lang, not detective? Wolves don't lie. Then who is it? Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Cochin's murder. It was all Sheena. But she said she didn't murder anybody. No, was she lying? No. Lang Zi says the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think Damas II's killer is? I'll tell you who. It was you, friends. Are you stupid? I was the killer? Hey, wait, but that's impossible. Yeah. Although that whip is actually quite out. Hold your tongue in that ludicrous remark you are about to make. Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder? Yeah, I am. He doesn't appear to be joking. Look, you've lost a little bit of blood. Maybe your brain's a little bit wobbly. You know, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. How about you just go ahead and shut the fuck up over there, Lang? Hey, sis. I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? Yes, he did. But why does that have to do with anything? I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Alabast and Babal, did you not? And where is your evidence that I am the killer? I was just getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission? Now, this could just be a big fucking ploy for Alba to drop his guard and let Lang into the office, right? He could be playing Alba right from the very beginning. Cause he didn't say, aha, I figured it out when Franziska was speaking. Really only said it when Alba was talking to him. So very possible that he could just be, hey, I got it. I gotta get in there. And he obviously can't tell us the plan because he just got back here. Because Alba would hear. With things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I? Good, then let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. As if I would have any reason to flee. But just so we're clear, your logic had better be sound. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation. She seems rather upset, not that I blame her. I expected that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that. Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part. And so that I may clean up my superior's mess. Oh, I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery. Oh, in that case I want to join in too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Alabast yet. If you let Kay in, then you gotta let me in too, pal. I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Fine Karma's in trouble. What's going on, Solaris? Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay? Okay, I'll take you up on that. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and raring to go. As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over. Sounds like this is gonna get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride. Kids? Don't talk about fucking Gumshoe like that. Gumshoe's older than you. How about you slow your roll? Very well. But I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance. I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now let's go. Alright, here we all go. March 15th, 12:53 a.m., Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador's Office. Okay, now, let's go over the facts one more time. Manny Cochin's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babal. The weapon that took his life was one of the Alabast's ornamental knives. And then the body of Damas II, Mr. Kashino, was found here in the Alabastian ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was this Primiduck statue, and that this is actually Babal's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it, sis, if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off. Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you're saying? Of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so, while people were distracted by the Atagarasu's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire. Even if all that were true, then how do you explain the movement of the weapons? Don't worry. I plan to show that you're the culprit behind that, too. You have permission to investigate both embassies at will. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken— Hey now! No. You don't got sauce like that. Look, sis. I thought I already told you I'm not messing around here. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but Sheena certainly is tied to the smuggling ring. He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring, could it not be deeper than what any of us imagine? Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already. Franziska, you need to calm down, because you only know the facts of the Alabastian side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole and therefore solve it. What? But don't worry, I am taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence. It's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that could top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well. Of course, and I will. Let us now delve into the truth behind the murder of Damask II. You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just confrontation against Agent Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of Damask II is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of our investigation. As long as I have no good counter-argument to his hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do. Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started. Yes, let's. I'm about to cook you, little boy. Alright. Border crossing weapons. One of Alabast's knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin, and the murder weapon in the killing of the Damask II is the Babal's Primiduck statue. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you. So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Franziska will remain a suspect. Well, it's not only the statues, right? It was the knives as well, or at least the Alabast knife that came over to Babal. That got smuggled over as well. So you would have to be able to transport not only the statues but the knives? Question mark. So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Franziska will remain a suspect. You got it, Mr. Prosecutor. So why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Excuse me. Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss. Agent Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself. What are you talking about? By focusing too intently on that which is in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Langzy never said anything to that effect. You prosecutor, who do you think you are, speaking about Langzy's proverbs like that? I don't need his proverbs, because my words are all you will need to see the truth. Now, Edgeworth has that sauce. Okay, so one of the knives was used to murder Cochin, and the murder weapon was the— oh, no, wait, he's talking about the statue, and he's talking about Babal's statue and the Alabastian knife. But he should also be talking about the Alabastian statue as well, Because, okay, I get it. Had a wrong line of thought. Yeah. See, he's only I thought he was talking about the two statues. These two objects. Right, okay. So you're forgetting one, homie. Where's Alabast's Primiduck statue? Well, it's actually kind of interesting because this is actually Babal's, and this is Alabast's. So discovered at the Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador's Op. Yeah, this is the murder weapon, but Babal's statue also traded places as well. There we go. Agent Lang, these two items are not the only two to cross the border tonight. Oh? Damas II was killed with Babal's Primiduck statue, yes. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alabast's Primiduck statue go? To Babal. Precisely. And if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point tonight. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies. I guess so. But you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items, only that the sis is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Alabast and Babal is her. Is that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the two countries? Well, I mean, whatever people saw as the Yatagarasu that was flying, or whatever Lada photographed as the Yatagarasu, this... where is it? I still have it, I know I do. Do I not? No, there it is, okay. So, this photo could be... Because I was asking before, like, how is this just up in the air, right? This is just floating for no reason. But... okay, you know, this explains the wire as well now. The wire that we found in the grandfather clock. Is Lotta Hart here? We saw her before the murders took place, and Tyrell said he got this photo from somebody who claimed to be an investigative photographer or cameraman. So, assumably, it is Lotta. Lotta took this picture. So, this could be one of the statues flying across on that wire. Okay, so that means that the wire would have to be set up before the murders, before this picture was took, and it would have to be somebody that had access to Manny Okay, so no. I see how this could have worked. So Manny Cochin was helping, right? He helped set up the wire. He made sure that the statues could be transferred over. But then Alba had him murdered? Or Alba murdered him? It's weird because Manny Cochin assumably had to die near his office, right? Or could he have been killed somewhere else and moved there? Because his time of death was way before the fire started on the 3rd floor, right? So if his body was moved there, it could have been moved from anywhere. Assumably people would have seen it though, right? So was he at... The question right now is where Manny was killed. That's the most important thing to me right now. Because obviously with Manny taking part in the smuggling ring, with him being the one to print off all those counterfeit bills, he definitely has the motive to be murdered by the ringleader. But I just need to figure out where we know why and how. Why, how, and who. With what. We have that, we just need the where. And I think that's going to be the most important part of this case. Because if he was killed literally anywhere other than his office, and the body was brought there, the question then becomes, okay, how was the body brought there? But we'll save that for when we get there. Actually, there was definitely another person, one who paid a visit to both sides of the war. Oh, okay. Well, is that really so, Agent Knight? What a lousy time to try this. Should try and bluff your way out of this. I checked out what the guards said, along with security cameras footages. Security cameras footage, rather. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily. But suppose there was some other way to, other than through the theater doors. What other way? The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed. If I point it out, it will open up a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility. Looks like you've got some clever idea in mind. I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence. Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route. This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries. Well, Bink. Agent Lang, I'm sure you're familiar with this unforgettable photo. That supernatural photo, like I said before. Humans can fly. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well. Don't start claiming that Sheena somehow grew wings either. I wouldn't dream of claiming that. And I won't allow you to take back what you said either. I'll say it again. It's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor. Well, I mean, we're going to have a good explanation for it. But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible. Eureka. Very well. You will have your explanation. Sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside of that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face hidden within this photo's blurry trailed shadow is... It's the Alabastian statue, right? Yeah. Because if it was hollow, then it could have easily flown across. Whereas the Balinese one is real. Like, the fact that they're calling these where they were found and not which actual statues they are is annoying. But either way, naturally, the shadow was the third smuggled object, the Primitive statue replica. You can't be serious. The Yatagarasu, or rather Callisto Yu, as Agent Sheena, was inside the ball. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air. Mr. Prosecutor, you left out a very crucial bit in your explanation. I know I did. She launched it through the air? And how exactly did she do that? He's literally baring his fangs at me. But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that? I mean, we can probably just say wire and be good. As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier? Yeah. So, just before the murder, Franziska was called here, right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Miss Von Karma. Oh? What are you up to now, pretty boy? Earlier you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma had been in the room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believed her to be the killer. Yeah, I guess I did say something like that. In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth? How dare you? As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too. I don't. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time. Which is why I would like to hear about your movements in this room. Franziska, I feel that I still don't have enough information. Which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case. Alright. So, what would you like to talk about? I'd like you to please testify to your movements in this room until the murder occurred. Alright, let's try this your way for a change. What if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time? I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl no. As you wish. Alright, Franziska. Movements in Alabast. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy. After I saw the Steel Samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alba to his office. Franziska, I want us to make this very clear from the beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct? Yes, of course. I see. Well, for now, the only way that I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Franziska about her testimony in more detail. Sounds like press to me. Alright. So, I think the last one is important. Because it's, you came back to the office. What was going on in here? At that time, Damas II's body has yet to be found in this room. Is that correct? That's right. I feel like I gotta sneeze. But I can't. I fucking hate this. It's so awful. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence. Criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying? Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you. Seriously? Like I keep telling you, when I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill watering his plants. I can attest to that. I remember speaking with a lovely lady around that time here in my office. Alright then, add that statement to your testimony and let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he? When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill. Okay, he could have been setting up those hair chopsticks, hair sticks. For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill? What do you mean by that? The entrance to this room is on this side, however the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Isn't that correct? I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him, but fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, with a watering can in hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right? I suppose. After his greeting, we spent about a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself and is growing them with the utmost care, you know. Yes. The plants in this room, they are all like my children. The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All four of... If I remember correctly, there were only 2 flowers in 1 sprout. Yeah. Yeah. Miss Von Karma, what did you say just now? I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement do you not understand? What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony. Very well. Okay, well at least this explains why the passion flowers were still in evidence, right? There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom in the flower box. Are you sure about that? Alternatively, just turn the fuck around. Franziska, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence. It does appear that way. I knew it. I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like that? Yes, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. Eek. All I've done is state what I saw. I have made not a single mistake in my testimony, and for this I am still under suspicion of murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles? At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case, one that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine that flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy. They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care. So I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth. I understand. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Alright. So... it looks like they're... maybe you can say, like, the stem? Unless the passion flowers grow, like, on that weird little vine. And... they're being held up by hair sticks. The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supports. Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, you don't realize... you realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you. Miles Edgeworth, hurry up and shut this man up for me already. I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I? I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require. Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight. But I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth the passion flowers reveal can be seen in this piece of evidence. Well... Sheena, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. They look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe that it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for passion flowers. And so what? Is it really all that important to the case? Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight. We keep finding more of those, don't we? Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally in Alabast, but somehow they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in Babal the whole night. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and statue. Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal. But how do these support sticks find their way to Babal, and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up there. So that's why. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape. It's just another stick, isn't it? And so it is. With the shape of the support sticks is what's important. When they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. Oh, could they be shot out of the crossbow? Okay, and they could have the wire tied to the little hoop in them to effectively make a zip line. Okay, that's how the line was set up. And the object that completes the picture with the support sticks is... that's a crossbow. Wait, you're not really suggesting. I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, we make for perfect arrows. Bolts, technically, Miles, but go off. I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices, but this thread has yet to become completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together. Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all. Okay, come on, Shilong. I was getting to that. Border Crossing Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. So Babal's statue was draped in the Atagarasu's clothes and then shot over here. Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with the statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the Prima Duck statues didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you? Okay, so yeah, I don't think that they were tied to the arrows. I think the arrows were shot on their own, and then the statues were just sent along them. But whatever. The Prima Duck statue didn't sprout wings. Of course they didn't. Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact. Now, the only question I have now is what kept them moving along the along the zip line, right? Along that wire. Because assumably you can push them on the wire from the window, right? But I don't think they're getting all the way across from the inside to the other in like the leftmost side to the rightmost side with just a simple push. You would need some sort of mechanism to keep them going. And there wasn't anything in the uh actually, depending on how the ceiling fans spin inside the room, because remember the ceiling fan that was broken in Cochin's office, in the Babali's secretary office, it was all on the floor and broken up, and assumably that was done without the fire's help, because the fire would have just burned it all up. It wouldn't have made it fall and not burned it to a crisp at all. So there's the potential of the ceiling fans being used as like a what's the word am I look as like a motor system? Because if you tie it around like the top of the ceiling fans, you can have the wire rotate kind of like a ski lift, right? That seems proper for this game. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation. What? You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The Prima Duck statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time, and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. Border Crossing Part 2. So Babal statue draped in the Autograss is closed and then shot over here. Yes, yes, yes. Hello? Even if you fired the arrows from the side, they wouldn't go far with the statue tied to them. We'll press on that. But we are in agreement that an arrow itself would reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing. No, that's not necessarily true. What? What I need right now is not for the discussion of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with a crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something that a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows, then what did the crossbow launch? I believe it launched the wire. Got him, GG's. Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow, then shot into Mr. Cochin's office. All the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy, down to the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I could see how Alabast's Prima Duck statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then what about Babal's Primoduck statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal, going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Babalese embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastian embassy. How do you explain that? I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick works. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick, I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babal's Primoduck statue. Rotary? I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the two statues were transported simultaneously. Get real, the statues would collide somewhere along the line. Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices? If you shot an arrow with the two ends of wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed. Yeah, exactly like a fucking ski lift. Yeah! Lang Z says, don't object and call success what is really beyond reasonability. Take into account the tension difference between the two wires. The top one would sag too much to the point that the statues would collide anyway. Agent Lang, as you know, the Primoduck statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure, and the fact that the Babal statue was a hollow replica of the real statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible. Lang Z says. Okay, there was no need for that, Lang. Here's what I believe happened. Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in the two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down on one arrow. And then the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport them. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal, where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock. QED. What is that, fucking quaderum demonstratum? I think. This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer. Not yet, sis. I haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor. The proof is in the pudding, as it were. Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir. Wouldn't she just be tried here? There's no reason to try her in fucking Zhangfa. I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence. One more? This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor. The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire, I believe that is right here in this very room. Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible. Ceiling fan. Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again. The last piece to the trick are two pulleys. Precisely. The ceiling fan doubles as the pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices. The ceiling fan's made for the perfect pulley set on the wire to run on. Got him. GG's. We did it. We're so good. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security. You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it out all on your own, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you? The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabastian and Babalese offices, and that the passion flower support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case. Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food. Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? If you can't say who it is, then why don't you present something like you always do? A single point of the finger here in this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious mastermind is. Am I stupid? Oh, well, I mean... Technically? Yeah! This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had time to grow big, that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited the room today. On top of all of this, the fact that the culprit knew both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I am accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus it can only be you, Quercus Alba. Well damn, I'm glad I didn't have to pick him out of a fucking lineup. Good shot, Edgeworth. Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth? I'm certainly of what I am saying, and I am sure that he's the culprit. Don't laugh. He's right. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd. Just one thing, huh? The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. Could it be the statues? Specifically the one he brought here? Because if he brought this statue here, he wants it in here for some reason. He wants this statue for whatever reason. He wanted to get rid of... He didn't care about the real statue of Primadux. He wants something... Maybe there's something inside the fake statue? But what could be inside the fake statue with the smuggling ring involved that would lead it to be... That would need it to be important. It can't be any particular like piece of art, right? That doesn't make any sense. Alternatively, it doesn't make too much sense for it to just be... Maybe it could be the plates for counterfeiting. Because they said they never did find those. It could be the plates for the counterfeit bills. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Primadux statue for the fake, I guess it's a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. Or it has evidence hidden inside it. It's one of the two. It's either the plates for the counterfeit money, or it's evidence from KG8. One of the two. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primadux himself? I see. Ambassador will be examining that statue now, with or without your permission. Okay. This guy kind of looks like the Seal Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador. I suppose that's possible. Huh? Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. It looks like a gap. Does it? I can't see shit. Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret? Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in the construction. What? Hurry up and open it, Miles. Alright, here goes. Oh. It's the plates. Wow, it really did open up. Hey, what's this thing that fell out? I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. What is this? Hey, is this what I think it is? It's a plate for making counterfeit bills. Somehow, it appears that we've arrived at long last. At the exit to this complex labyrinth, we finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates, and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabasta to begin with. I don't know how much longer this case can be. It kind of seems like we're wrapping it up pretty hard. It seems like we're kind of zooming along to the truth. Speaking of the truth, tell it. The Riminook statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat, and the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. And these two, excuse me. Chicken came back up on me. Make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. The end is 3 parts if I remember. I remember somebody saying that yesterday. I can't remember. I think it was Starsman who said it was 3 parts. But it seems that we've been making decent ass progress in part 1. We haven't really done too much, and we're already fingering Alba as the suspect. Right? After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Sheena, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damask II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador had raised the replica statue at Damask II end. Then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba, you're the leader of the smuggling ring. My country is a mess, and it's all because of you. You're the one who killed Damask II? Answer us. I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. That sounds like a confession to me. It sounds like it's a fucking take him and go. We got him. At least to me, it sounds like it's very wrapped up to me. But either way. However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Quite screwing around? Was that supposed to be quit? I assume it was a typo. I can only assume it was a typo. It was nothing else but a typo. But quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. If there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Quercus Alba. It's not good to speak with subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang. Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago, you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you? Oh, he was serious. He was serious when he accused Franziska. Damn. Well, I take back everything I said. Guy's a massive fucking idiot. He's got heart, though. I'll give him that. Heart, but an idiot. Unless he's pretending. He has to be pretending, right? It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me? You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you. What? Agent Lang, I demand an explanation. Sorry, sis. Didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning. Okay. He was just playing it up for laughs. He was throwing for content. He wanted to see Alba react. I give him props for that. Let's go, Lang. Salutes. You did. I knew that this whole incident has been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around. Oh, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Franziska of the murder. Using Franziska as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights. If I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around. So that's what all this was about. Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth. Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you. You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow if we were able to find proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic. The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be. A prosecutor-detective team, right? I don't know about that, but one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him. You're quite scary when you want to be armed. Hey, you're the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me. Oh. All we need right now is evidence and proof. Missed that first sentence. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring. Objection! We just found the fucking plates in your room. Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity. Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. I tell you, I knew nothing, really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue. You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything. Doesn't make sense? Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense? What? It doesn't make sense. Here's how it doesn't make sense. Well, can you prove that it doesn't make sense? What kind of shit is that? Hey, this doesn't make sense because you guys had a statue that would allow your country to rule. It doesn't make sense that you would give it away. Well, why doesn't it make sense? I literally just fucking told you. He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us. He hasn't done anything of the sort. The proof that Interpol has been after, which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing we can use to break this case wide open? The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. Good thing we're not in court. No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Oh? So, Manfred von Karma flashbacks. Needless to say, we von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. Let the old niggas bring it to you, Maz. Let's go! I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma, and I won't follow the path of the Atagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law and what is justice? And which path is the prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is one I must make by my own hand here and now. So we can not use the Trump, like, because he's talking about the tape as well. Can you save? Hell yeah, I can. Fuck it, use the trump card. There is no limit to the law, Any limit that exists was set there by man. Oh. I really wish this was... Oh, so it's a fake choice? Damn it. Well, that kind of ruins everything that moment had going for it. That would have been sick. There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this. I chose not to when it looped back to this. Damn. Well, I mean, it's still an interesting conversation, right? Like, it's still an interesting talking point. It's neat enough. Like, I still vibe with that as a conversation, like, subject for Miles, like an inner thought. Because no matter what you do, you have to go past the limits of one of them. You have to either go past the limits of the law, or you have to go past the limits and into the truth, right? Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen that before in my life. It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates. Yeah, I just wish there was a way to progress without it. Yeah, of course. It would. I still think it would have been much more neat if they were like, okay, if you choose not to present it, you have to like go through this, and this in order to actually progress the episode. That would have been neat as well. But either way, is that what it is? This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KG8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin. Maybe if you choose not to, you get a much longer route, but you get there legally. Yeah, it's a little bit like it would have been like a difficulty selection for this final section of case, where it's like you pick to use the card and it's easier, or you pick to not use the card and it's harder. I would have liked that. So why do you have such a card in your possession? Because it was hand-delivered to me by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contained directions from the ringleader? I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given. What? This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG8 incident. Because I thought we were proving that wrong. Yeah, that's fair enough. The KG8 incident? The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate. Because we said there isn't actually a limit to the law the entire game. The only restriction was how you wielded it. Yeah, of course. The law exists as a tool to get to the truth. Abiding by it and living within its confines is fine to a point. Very curious indeed, these case-deciding pieces of evidence you presented, rather. The prey the Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man who had free reign for 10 long years to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me. March 15th, 1:34 a.m., Theatre Chalice Lobby. So, what is this interesting thing you wanted to show me? The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's words will be realized. So, I guess maybe Detective Bad kind of figured it out, but he didn't have anything concrete to link back to Alba. He only could prove that the card and the KG8 incident were linked. So, salutes Detective Bad, you did your job. So I just figured that getting through this and showing Bad he was wrong was the best way, but it wasn't a real choice. So, yeah, I mean, either way, like the overarching decision between like trying to stay in the confines of legality means that you'll sometimes miss the truth, I feel is the overarching message, and Miles has been all about the truth forever.
He cares about justice to a fault, but he only cares about justice as long as it gets like brought to from the truth. That's been his character since game one, and that's been something they've been pushing pretty heavily in this game. Is that why am I getting amber? I don't know why. Okay, so quick side tangent because one just popped up on my phone. I got an Amber Alert notification. Now, normally during these notifications, you know, not in lockdown time, I'm always like, you know, that's fair enough. I'll keep my eyes open. If I happen to see a car that looks like this, I will alert the authorities. However, in a time of stay at home, where you guys said you guys gotta be at home all the time, what do you expect me to do? Why are you sending these out? I don't know what you want from me. How can I fix this? Huh? What do you want me to do? You want me to fucking put on my hazmat suit and go out there and hunt down this car? Not to mention that sometimes the Amber Alert like fucking like pops up and it's like, okay, it's like it's in Pueblo, which is like 20 minutes from me. Like, what do you want? I can't readily just go to Pueblo and look for this car. It don't make no sense. Either way, I digress. Sorry about that. The overarching message for this game being Miles wanting to get to the truth is really nice. It makes sense for Miles. So that last choice of use the trump card or not, Apollo and Miles would have gone. Miles would not have gone. Miles would have stayed home. Apollo might have gone. Apollo would have gone, caught a cold, and then thought he was gonna die. That's what Apollo would have done. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. What you see here is security footage shot just before the KG-8 murder occurred. From this footage, we know that the card is a directives card from the smuggling ring. This section proves that the card was used to relay an order. Is it the card in his hand? Miles will just get to the police on it for him. Yeah, Miles will be like, oh, Amber Alert? Yeah, Gumshoe, go handle that. Apollo is their ability, Phoenix is the one catching colds. Yeah, but we're talking about a disease that it can be misconstrued for other things with mild scrutiny, right? Like, it kind of sucks that this virus has the common symptoms that it does, because if it would have had anything like out of the ordinary, you know, it would have been fine. Like if it was, oh, you may have this if you get a rash on your neck that turns blue, then it would have been like, okay, very easy to spot, very, very unique circumstance, very unique symptom to have. But then you're like, all right, what are some of the common symptoms? Shortness of breath, sneezing, and coughing. Oh, you mean shit that would happen if you had the fucking flu? Awful. It's just awful. Had anything where quickly appearing would have been defeated long ago, would have been nice? Yeah, of course. I see. The killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have, just because they look the same doesn't mean they are, now does it? But there is a very easy way to prove that they are in fact one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this. Oh, the fucking bloodstain. I was about to say, like, what? What do I gotta look at here? This dark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in that terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KG-8 incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can easily verify that as a fact. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building. It's an official Cadopian government car. What? Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. Zoom and enhance. This area of the footage directly links with the smuggling ring in Kadopia. He's got the card in his pocket. The shape of this pocket and the directives card in it. It tells us that without a doubt, this person in the car is Mr. Cochin's. Or is Mr. Cochin, excuse me. The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera, and with it we can easily find out who was sitting in this car that day 10 years ago. Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. Don't start laughing. Uh-oh. Thank you for showing me the other piece of proof that I needed. Because in the reflection of the rear window there, you could see that fucking metal that he just presented loud and clear for me. All you had to do was not do this. Probably would have got away with it. But you decided to be stupid. You've done well, boy, to make it this far. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time, that's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? The Principality of Kadopia no longer exists. So naturally, all records from that time period also no longer exist. That arrogance. What he really means is that he's already erased all traces of them. Are we finished here, boy? The only weapon I have left now to me is this piece of footage. There must be something here that I can use against him. Yeah, I wonder fucking what? I wonder what? What could it be? Okay, anybody else? You just brought it out for me to see. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Ambassador, I was thinking about going and get that fucking the new 6ix9ine music video just to play that clip, but never mind. Ambassador Alba. Yes, what is it? You were once an army man in the service of Kadopia. And it was you who made many missions you participated in successes, correct? Why the sudden backhanded praises, boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Kadopia. Not error. You're on my case, let me show you another piece of evidence that incriminates me. Yeah, I was like, what? You didn't have to do this? But now I am the only one who owns this particular medal. Blue tracksuit niggas. In that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you. How do you figure that? By the medal captured here in this footage. It is clearly the same exact medal as the one on your chest. What? Also, shout out to the crack face. This is how it will be, but I won't look back, for this is the path that I have chosen. Don't laugh. You've moved me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? It's almost looking possible, isn't it? For the lot of you to have come this far, it looks like I just might lose our little game this time. You might lose the game this time? You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador. Is that a fact? Very well. I've decided to confess and admit my guilt. You're going to confess? To what? And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the Damas II murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense. Damas II attacked me and I felt that my life was in danger. Do we find out if Yang was playing around or not? If you're talking about Lang, then yes. He was doing it to bait out fucking Alba. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead instead of him. Don't make me laugh. What a pathetic performance. I'm not giving you one. Wow, you two really know how to laugh at inappropriate times. If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence. It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? You were just asking for evidence like 5 seconds ago, and then we proved it, and then you were like, well, fuck, I guess. But that doesn't prove anything. Like, what are we doing here? And if that's what you require, I'll provide it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is the proof that it was in self-defense. Oh. He got really close to your fucking neck there, homie. But what did he attack you with? Because Mask to Mask doesn't get, or maybe Mask to Mask the second carries around weapons, but I'm an old man and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should. But Damask the second didn't have a single weapon on his body. Hold on. It's nothing to get worked up over because I hit the weapon. You hit it. I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder, even if it's in self-defense. I couldn't let it become public, seeing how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek. It's my special bonsai trimming shears. Oh, it's covered in blood. He was trembling quite badly during our struggle, but that's when he grabbed my shears that were sitting in my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense. Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth? Since he has both the wound and the weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare it so. Ambassador Alba's wound added. No way. Which reminds me, I guess there is still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge it was going on. Okay. You're done, son. It do not matter. You can say, oh, it just happened to be that it was my secretary. We're gonna get you. Stop spewing nonsense. You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation. If you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you. The murder of Damask II was done in self-defense. In my trials, no man escapes his crime alive. Perhaps so, if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten. And what is that? That's what you mean. Extraterritoriality? Fuck that word. That's right. This embassy sits on what's effectively Alabastian soil. So any trial that is to be held will be held in Alabast. Therefore, the crime I've just admitted will never be tried in your courts. Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this? Agents investigate, that's our job. The judgment of people who have confessed their crime, that's the court's job. I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective, even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial in one of your courts. An arrogance in your expression. It's nothing like the face of someone who is ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. Now, these crimes you all speak so seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusations, but it's no big deal. Alabast has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game. These two layers of protection that extraterritoriality provides him. This is why he's one of those who cannot be brought to court. You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. I like how this guard is just standing here like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go forth and fetch your eviction papers. Is there nothing we can do? To be continued. Well, I guess this kind of makes up for a little bit more, right? Because it's still going down. we gotta actually prove beyond reasonable doubt that he's responsible for everything. March 15th, 2:11 a.m. Theatre Neutralis lobby. I can't believe it, sir. Extraterritoriality.
Yes, and there was nothing we can really do about that.
Ah,
In the end, we didn't have enough authority to bring him to justice.
hold on. I just realized it's 2. I think the Grand Blue Golden Week shit is over, but let me just double check. Yeah, it is. I'll still get my login anyways. Oh yeah, PG's going on. Interdast. Let me see. What is my crew talking about? Okay. Yeah, they're just talking about bullshit.
In the end, we didn't have enough authority to bring him to justice.
I can't believe that even though we know he's the boss, we can't lay a finger on him.
I know.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, sorry to skip out on you, but I've got some business to take care of. Where are you going? If we can't give an evil guy like him a slap on the wrist, then what the heck are laws created for? What good are they? If the law can't help us, then I'll go as the Adagarasu and take care of this myself.
Don't you dare.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Sorry, that was a bit too harsh.
I know how you feel, sir. We're trying to take on an ambassador, after all. And he did tell us earlier to get out of the theater. This is the kind of their country, I guess. But I feel like I've been slapped across the face for just doing my job.
What am I going to do? Should I retreat for now and formulate a better plan of attack?
Come on, everyone. We can't give up yet.
Okay?
I want you to think about something for a sec. We've never let up even for a second. And as long as we don't stop investigating, we might find the rotten treasure hidden here. She's right. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth.
You're right, Kay. Very well. Let us reopen the investigation and see what we can find. Come on, Kay.
Right behind you. Okay, then I'll go check out Babal a little bit more, sir. And I have something that I need to investigate further in Alabast. I've got the kid with me.
Now then, before I gather any more information, I should do a bit of housekeeping.
Passion flowers data erased from my organizer. That's it? Just the passion flowers? I mean, yeah, technically we don't need to prove anything about the, well, we still have the fucking, the damn Ambassador Alba seem agitated over something. And that's getting added, right? Well, that's going to logic. Okay. Alright, I wonder why.
There are two special circumstances that surround the ambassador.
Let's see. Yeah, we got rid of the passion flowers, but we still have the hair sticks. Also, his wound being evidence like that is menacing.
That surround the ambassador? First, the embassy itself has extraterritorial rights. If something happens on Alabastian soil, we are unable to legally prosecute him.
Cool, it sounds like embassies are the perfect place to steal whatever you want.
And Murder Damas II run a smuggling operation and make counterfeit bills, apparently.
But I thought all the counterfeiting was done by Mr. Cochin in Babal.
Yes, he apparently used the embassy's coupon printing press to do it.
Okay.
But it's the same story over there anyway. Babal also has extraterritorial rights. Which brings me to my next point, the ambassador's extraterritorial rights. Those rights are effective even in our own country.
Really?
No matter what happens, he can never be tried in our courts. He retains some very special rights indeed. Basically, no matter what wrongs he may commit, we can't bring him to trial here.
So I guess we really don't stand a chance, do we?
We might stand a chance if we can somehow nullify either one of his special rights.
Okay, I didn't realize I had fucking control over Edgeworth there. Jesus Christ. Alright. So, what do we have in logic right now? We should just have... Oh, we have a couple things. I mean, technically, the Bobbly's embassy is undergoing renovations top to bottom. that may be why he wanted to bring the plate over there.
We know that the counterfeit bills were printed using the embassy's press, but the necessary materials such as Babalese ink and paper must have been hidden in a secure location. But what do you think would have happened if the renovation had begun?
Well, he probably had to find a better hiding place or get rid of it all.
Right, so we can assume that the renovation was the cause of the plate and bills disposal. And the reason Mr. Cochin was killed is the ringleader of the smuggling operation. Based on what we know, who do you think was the one with the most to gain?
Fucking Alba? Like, what? Yes, Paliano, the evil man that he is, that has not been a suspect in anything ever.
It's the one person who has been erasing all of the evidence behind the smuggling operation. From both embassies, the co-conspirator who was mopping up Ambassador Alba. Ambassador Alba had a very strong motive to kill Manny Cochin.
Okay. So is that why he was agitated? Gang.
The cause of Ambassador Alba's agitation, the rotten treasure we may find, and the motive for killing Mr. Cochin. Miss Yu said it herself that she didn't kill anyone tonight. If we were to take her words at face value, then the reason for the ambassador's nervousness can only be one thing. He didn't want us to discover the real circumstance under which Mr. Cochin was killed.
Then you mean Ambassador Alba is the real killer? But I thought the two of them were friends.
Maybe they were, but what if Mr. Cochin was the one who first betrayed their friendship?
Oh, I get it. Wasn't Mr. Cochin pushing really hard for Mr. Paliano to be ambassador after the reunification?
Yes, and that was the real reason why he wanted to steal Albast's Primiduc statue.
So Mr. Cochin hired Damas II to go steal it for him. But when Ambassador Alba found out what he was up to, he killed Mr. Cochin?
It is definitely a possibility at this point.
Those two really were thinking of no one but themselves. But the question now is, how did he do it? Ambassador Alba was in Alabast, but Mr. Cochin's body was discovered in Babal, right?
Right, and that is what we must solve next.
Alright. So, got all that.
This was taken just before the two ambassadors gave their bouquets to the Steel Samurai. Wait, is it just my imagination, or is there something in this picture I've seen before?
I can't really tell. No, he's seen the Steel Samurai. What is it that? Let me move this out the way so I can look at the actual photo in full. What is? I can't. Is it supposed to be the symbol in the flowers? Is that supposed to be the knife?
It appears to be a bouquet of Persian cyclamens and roses.
Wow, you even know the exact species? I never would have figured to be an expert on flowers.
It's all because of those flowers that old lady sends every month. Just look at me, I sound like some sort of botanist.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, Edgeworth. So what exactly is this yellow flower here?
That one, I'm not sure.
What? You don't know?
As far as I can recall, I've never seen a flower like this before. But I feel as though I've seen this shape somewhere before.
Well, now I have to I assume I'm supposed to be deducing this. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence? Did you check Larry? I did not check Larry. Am I supposed to be checking Larry? Because it's we know it's Larry.
There's that troublemaker standing there smack in the center making two peace signs.
Wow, the Steel Samurai stands out even more than the two ambassadors in the picture. Oh hey, the person playing the Steel Samurai is one of your friends, right?
No, I have no idea who he is.
Wait, but you just said he. You knew which gender he was, so you must know him, right? I beg that you please refrain from talking about that person with me ever again. Damn. Brown rice. But we're supposed to deduce this with... Ah, I see it. Okay. It's the hilt of the blade. The very fucking pommel of it. It looks like that flower. It's even missing the one petal. Outstanding. Alabastian knife present. Babal's national symbol is the butterfly, and alabast is the flower. Oh, not clicking on the arrow. There we go. It would appear that someone is employing the old hide a tree in the forest trick. What are you mumbling to yourself about? Wait, what? The handle on this knife? Aha! Yes, it's the handle that was supposed to be on the blade that killed Mr. Cochin. And that explains how it was moved. The weapon that killed him was carried through the Theatrum Neutralis, in the very bouquet Ambassador Alba was carrying. Well, we got him. Doesn't that make him, at the very least, an accomplice? Doesn't that kind of just fuck his whole shit? Uh-oh. The pop socket has come off my phone. Just stick that back on. There we go. But yeah, what doesn't that still make him an accomplice for murder if he's bringing the murder weapon? The flower motif. It looks like one of those flower petals is missing. Ooh, and take a look at the weapon itself. It's missing the exact same petal. Then the knife in this photo is most definitely the same as this murder weapon. I believe we now understand why Ambassador Alba was so nervous and agitated. It must have something to do with where Mr. Cochin was killed. A place where the Alabastian ambassador was likely to meet the Babalese Mr. Cochin. The place where Ambassador Alba happened to have committed the murder is... has to be the theater. Or close to the theater. Do I just select the theater? What's up, Mr. Starsman? It seems like it'd just be the theater. If they're showing me this.
Take that!
Yeah. The only place that makes sense is here, at the Theater Neutralis. What, here? The Goodwood event was being held here today, correct? Oh, Gallus, there's no need for that. What did Starsman do? Unless he did do something, in which case I can't protect you from that one. So the only place that the both of them would have been in is here. But if that's the case, then that changes everything. This theater isn't actually Alabastian land, so that wipes out one of those extraterritorial rights he has. It makes logical sense, in which case it is a reason for us to investigate further. So what should we check out? Let's see. I believe we should check out the immigration records for both Alabast and Babal post-haste. Babal's records should be easy to obtain, however the problem will be Alabast. I wonder if they would allow us to see their records, despite the order to vacate.
Objection!
Did she go get him? I'm already one step ahead of you, Miles Edgeworth. Franziska, I have here the security footage from both Alabast and Babal. You would do well to take a look at its contents. Hey. Look at him go. Franziska, Franziska seemed to have leveled up well beyond the scope of what she was in JFA and fucking Game 3 in Trials and Tribulations. She's definitely received a power boof. And that's B-O-U-F. Boost and buff together. You move fast. Avon Karma strives to be perfect in every way. It's not in my nature to keep on retreating like this. I took the liberty of looking over the Babal investigation reports as well. From now on, you will make no excuse to back down or say that we can't solve this case. I'm sorry about earlier. We won't be beaten. Because my cute little subordinate is going to try his very best, isn't he? Hasn't she patronized me enough already for a lifetime? So this video contains footage from Alabast's immigration screening area. I really hope there's something in there that we can use. $5.21, $5.22, $5.23. Which minute's footage should I examine? $5.23? Because you gotta look at what else is in that cart. Although this is Larry. Yeah, I was saying yesterday how Larry could have unknowingly moved the body. But this is going into Alabast, right? Doesn't something about this lump shape strike you as odd? Huh? Isn't it supposed to be this shape? No, there's clearly something odd about the bulge. If only we had the pushcart itself, we could compare and confirm my hunch. Yeah, but Larry said he was missing it. Yeah, okay, so somebody stole it from him and used it to move the body. Next, let us check the footage from the ball security camera. I hope it shows us something good. $5.25. Phooey, there wasn't a single sign of a suspicious person or anything. Really? That's right. That right there is the contradiction. Did I miss something? Have we confronted the old man? Yeah. Yes, we have. We pulled up on him and said, it's you who did it. And he was like, well, nope, diplomatic immunity, fuckers. And then he kind of just walked away. You didn't miss anything because there was nothing to miss. However, what is missing is the image of Mr. Cochin entering his own country. But wasn't his body found in Bobal? It would appear that the true face of our final puzzle has finally revealed itself. Investigation complete. Alright then. Is that Shilong? Nope, that's everyone from fucking Alabast. Ambassador Alba. I thought I had asked for you and your group to vacate the premises, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I thought I should let you know that this theater sits on my country's soil. You've had your fun, and I've enjoyed our little game. I dare say that you even achieved a new high score. However, once you've recorded a score, that same game can never be replayed again. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Your game is done, and it's game over. No. I see he in his final form. Yeah, he has he even started to flex and was like, "Hey, look at this evidence I got on my chest." Like I wouldn't notice. Where do you think you're going at this time of the night? After admitting to my crime, I was overcome with regret. So I'm heading to the airport now to return home. No, the fuck you not. You better be heading to the jail. To go to jail. Because we got you. I'm afraid I can't let you do that. There are still too many issues we need to discuss with you. You can't stop me, Mr. Edgeworth, and you know it. Please, may I have a little bit of your time, Ambassador Alba? Ambassador Pauliano. Even just a teeny tiny bit is fine with me. The already strained relationship between our countries is a precarious situation, you know? Big yawns. Very well, if you insist. I will play just one more round with them and see what they want. Not that they'll get any farther. Ambassador Pauliano. Mr. Edgeworth, all I wish for is the normalization of relationships between our two countries. But there is one person standing in the way of that dream. I believe in you. You'll do what's right. Thank you for your vote of confidence. What? So many yawns. Now then, what was it you wanted to ask me about? I do have a flight to catch after all, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to limit you to just one question. That's more than enough, because I only have one question anyway. I want to hear your alibi about how you couldn't have killed Mr. Manicochin. Oh, I see. You seem to have a good hand this time around. This should be fun. This really is the very last chance to bring him down. I won't allow even an atom-sized contradiction to slip by. Ambassador Alba's alibi. Frankly, I still don't understand why I'm being placed under suspicion here. What is with these yawns? You're either hungry or you haven't slept enough? I'm gonna go with that last one. Because I ate before I streamed. Under your hypothetical scenario, Mr. Coach and I were fellow smugglers. But to get to the point, I was in Alabas the whole time. So it's simply not possible for me to have killed him in Babal. That's my alibi. So that is your alibi. That is correct. It's simply not possible for me to have committed a crime in Babal. Now that we have cleared that up, I'd appreciate it if you would move out of my way. I said hold it. What is it this time? I thought I told you I'd allow only one question. You did, but you still have yet to really answer my one question. What? Until you tell us the truth, I will refuse to budge an inch from where I am standing. Very well. I'll play with you just a little longer. Miles Edgeworth, as my subordinate and representative of this country's prosecutors. You are forbidden to lose. Of course, that is something I've understood from the start. That guy's the one who ordered my father killed, isn't he? Yes, I believe so. The goal of the first Yatagarasu was to capture the smuggling ring's leader, my father and Uncle Bad. Their legacy will live on through me. So that's why we've just gotta catch him, okay? We will, I promise. Now, Ambassador Alba, let's have the truth. Let's have at the truth now, shall we? You can laugh all you want. No matter how many times you ask, my answer remains the same. My god. Yeah. Yeah, you and Coach were fellow smugglers, but he pissed you off. It's not a hypothesis. Earlier we proved it to be what happened. Well, let's leave that one to side. Let's leave that to one side for now. Because it doesn't change the fact that I have no motive. What? Oh? So you really had no reason to kill Mr. Kochu? If you want to suppose I had one, then why not? I'll indulge you. After all, this is nothing more than a silly game to me. Even if that's how you see things, I'd appreciate it if you would take me seriously. Nah, actually take me serious. You had to go to jail. I'm sorry. I suppose you are in a bit of a pickle. Very well, a game is no fun if the playing field isn't level. Therefore, I formally claim that I have no motive to kill. Now let's see you disprove it. How can he stand there looking proud when he knows he killed another human being? Well, I'm not going to stand by and just watch him get away with his crimes. What motive would you have? I don't know, the fact that he was planning on swiping the statue? If you want to know, then I believe you did have a motive to kill. It was because Mr. Cochin had betrayed you. But you had your own reason too. Namely, you wanted to pin the smuggling all on him. Evil begets evil, and because you were trying to test each other, it turned into this mess. That's an awful objection. I could have done without that one. I don't like that one. That one kind of sucked. I don't believe this. You have a bad penchant for telling tall tales, Mr. Prosecutor. And if you're not, then I suppose you have some proof to support your argument. I never use guesswork in moving my cases forward. It has been proven that this note was written by Mr. Cochin's hand. Shall we take a look at it? The content of this note is a request calling for the theft of Alabaster Primiduc statue. Huh. By killing him and pushing all the guilt for the smuggling onto him, you walk away spotless. I believe you understand what I'm driving at. You had more than a few reasons to kill him. God damn it. Get a big stretch in, too big stretch. Ugh. Are you finished with your hypothesizing? Excuse me. Let's suppose I did have a motive. Even so, a motive or a thought alone can't kill. Isn't that right? I did expect him to resort to playing with the semantics game with me. It would appear that this is where the real battle will begin. Now then, if you'll excuse me. Wait, what? I told you at the very beginning, didn't I? You only get one question. Ambassador Alba, if you could please give us just a little bit more of your time. It doesn't matter what kind of man Manny was, he was my subordinate, which is why I would like us to figure out the real cause of his death. Let's go, Paliano. That is something for Raval to figure out, and something to which I have no relation to. Never mind, Paliano, you can step back now. Now he's even turning down a request from Ambassador Paliano. I'm very sorry, but it seems that even now my voice falls on deaf ears. There is no need for you to apologize, Ambassador Paliano. We must find some way to stop him from leaving. It seems there are no further objections. Oh, fuck, that's Alba, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you can tell it's asleep now. In that case, please allow me to return home. You get back here. Hold it right there, Ambassador Alba. Okay. Like I said, Mr. Edgeworth, the Autograss's legacy will live on through me. Yes, but how do you suggest we stop him from leaving? You just leave that to me. Ambassador Alba, do you recognize this? No, and why should I recognize that tattered old organizer? That's Burns. Wait, where have I seen that before? This is a clue that my father, Burn Faraday, left for us. Did you say Burn Faraday? Mr. Faraday's organizer. Don't tell me that this is the one from the second KG-8 incident. The one in which he wrote about the Yatakarasu's key. Yes, this organizer belonged to the prosecutor you had Miss Yu kill 7 years ago. I had no idea what you're talking about. You say that like it was related to me. Inside this organizer, he wrote up every detail of every evil thing you did. What an amusing little girl you are. But that sort of trickery won't work on me. If you won't believe me, then take a look at this. Little thief. And what is that toy there? That's... This thievery device was used by the Yatagarasu, or rather, by my father. 7 years ago, he used this when he snuck into this embassy. What? These two pieces of evidence that hold information the Yatagarasu dug up on you. If you go home now, I won't hesitate to send it all to Alabasta right behind you. Girl, get to the point. I want you to go up against Mr. Edgeworth one more time. If you win, then I'll hand over these two pieces of evidence. Yatagarasu, ever the thorn in my side. Okay, does that organizer really contain any information on his dirty dealings? It's nothing case-breaking, really. But then it was just a bluff. Even if it was, we still can't let all the info my father and Uncle Bad found go to waste. Plus, just the existence of Little Thief is troublesome enough for him. Those two pieces, aren't they keepsakes of your father? It's okay, I believe in Mr. Edgeworth. He'll come out on top in the end. Okay. When the going gets tough, someone's gotta be there to put the wind back in your sails. After all this time, you're still quite the feisty one. I applaud your powerful nature. I refuse to lose this too. Ambassador Alba, you won't be returning home until you give us further testimony. How dare you all, barring a person like me. Ambassador Alba, your testimony, if you please. right? But this is the absolute last. And even if you use all the power of Ambassador Paliano's office, you won't stop me. I can't let this opportunity Kay has created for me go to waste. Well, Alba's Alibi Part 2. Last time Mr. Cochin was here at the theater. Big stretch. After that, I was in Alabas the rest of the time, as I stated earlier. In any case, I did not see Mr. Cochin again after that. So you see, there is no time span in which I could have killed him. Wouldn't you agree? No. You went to the theater. That's where you killed him. Now, since you people were practically begging, I'll allow you to question me. What an arrogant old man. Yes, but no matter, we can't allow this chance to escape us. I will warn you though, you've reached the end of my patience. Waste my time with any inane questions, and you will be punished. So, any needless pressing or presenting will cost more to our case. In that case, the only thing you can do is present the correct evidence. Understood? Of course, I don't intend to let him intimidate me. I know Mr. Cochin was killed before he returned to Babon. In which case, there is only one statement which I need to present the evidence. Well, obviously it's the fucking the photo of all of them together in front of the theater where he has the fucking knife. Alright. So where is it? It should be the last thing we have, right? Nope. It should be the third thing we have to the last. Shake that head. I'd like you to take a look at this picture. It's a rather nice picture, isn't it? It was to commemorate the restoration of relations between our nations. Oh, it's commemorative, all right. One that captures the proof I need to show that it was you who committed the murder. Come again. This is the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. How are you this dumb? I see you recognize it as well, as you should, for it was you who brought it to the theater. You hid it among the flowers you were to give to the Steel Samurai, meaning that you killed Manny Cochin here at the theater. It's time for me to catch my flight. Where are you going? We're not through yet. It's game over for you, Mr. Edgeworth. I thank you for the entertainment. No matter how passionately you orate, this end result will be the same. I won't be returning to this country ever again. That's right. This man is an ambassador, and he has extraterritorial rights. No matter how hard we chase after him, we won't be able to have him tried in court. Yes, that's exactly the face you should be making. The face of a worthless cur. What? Now then, ladies and gentlemen, I must bid you farewell. The course. Is there no one who can lay a finger on this man? Is this really the... she long. What's poppin', slime? Agent Lang. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Prosecutor. Get out of my way. My plane is scheduled to take off soon. Sorry, but you're not going anywhere, Mr. Alba. I'm through playing games with you people. You can't touch me. If you do, it would spark an international incident, Agent Lang. Sorry, but no it wouldn't. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Good job holding the fort down here until I got back. So, Mr. Alba, your diplomatic... Yeah. Of course. There's no reason why you wouldn't do it. Lethal weapon niggas. I can't believe... Now, some of you might not be getting this. Let me go get the clip.
diplomatic community.
It's just been revoked.
It's great. I'm glad that they put that in. That's great. That's a good line to put in. That's a good referential line. What do you mean revoked? Spare me this nonsense and let me through. Langzi says before aiming for the throat, chew the neck shield off first. Interpol headquarters and the Imperial household of the Kingdom of Alabas took a while to get things rolling, but they finally moved on it. The Imperial household? What have you done? You've been relieved of your duties as ambassador, Mr. Alba. Got you, pussy. Effective today, effective right now. And you have Mr. Prosecutor's videotape to thank for this. The video the Adagarasu protected? You can't be arrested simply because you're an ambassador. In that case, I thought I'd strip you of that title. You underestimated me, a descendant of the founder of detainment philosophy, Lang Zi. For thousands of years of deeply entrenched connections and networks around the world have really paid off. It can't be. I don't believe. Don't get small now. Stay big and tall. I'm gonna cook you. My ambassadorship has been revoked. Looks like you're finally coming to grips with your new standing. Woohoo! Looks like he's turned docile again. He's probably in loss from the shock of his shield. What a shame. I had so wanted to use my whip on him. Why is this happening to me? I'm just a hard-working, honest ambassador. Do you really think you can still pull that on us now? We've already ripped away the mask and seen you for who you really are, Mr. Alba. No, don't. Pick one. Inside the house or out? No, I won't be stopped now. He still intends to fight us. So what if I am no longer an ambassador? You still don't have any evidence on me. I mean, the fact remains that you cannot arrest me. And expect no less from you, the boss of the smuggling ring. Well, the rest is up to you, Mr. Prosecutor. You can't power up 2 different times, it's against the rules. No, it's you pick one or the other. You either stay powered up or powered down. No going in and out of the house. Pick inside or outside. Understood. You say that I killed Mr. Cochin in the theater. But even if it's true that there was a knife in my bouquet, I left that bouquet in the theater. So anyone could have taken it out from there and used it, right? Besides, the claim that he was killed there itself is odd. After all, wasn't his body discovered in Mobile? Are you claiming that I carried his body all the way over there? Preposterous. Logi Frontline really beating my ass? Look. Just don't lose. Forehead. Are we the one to prove whether it's preposterous or not? Ex-Ambassador Alba, are you ready? Let me go ahead and fucking actually log into my frontline as well, because I had some stuff on production last night. I had a heavy pro going. I think it was a 5-star shotgun. It went above 8 hours. Because this is no game. This is war. Alba's Alibi Part 3. How many parts of this alibi? I killed Mr. Cochin in this theater using a knife that was stuck in my bouquet. I left that bouquet in the theater. Anyone could have taken the knife from there. Besides, Mr. Cochin's body was discovered in Babal, right? There was no way for me to have transported his body from the theater to Babal. Look, don't you think you had enough fun with me? You've already stolen my ambassadorship from me. Would you have me surrender too? Yes. You have no plans to ever return to this country, isn't that right? Did you know that a bunch of your subordinates are seeking asylum because of you? As if I care. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, boot this guy out of the embassy and we can finally end everything. I know, and I will give it to my all to see that he leaves in handcuffs. Without the title of ambassador, he is just another witness. Even if he had the title of ambassador, he was another witness. See, that's where Miles and Apollo differ. Because Miles says, yeah, no, he's still an ambassador. Can't do shit about that. Oh, I got another Spaz 12. Neat. Now, let me see what my 8-hour plus one was. AA 12. Neat. I'm trying to go for FP6. But I'll take an AA 12 dupe. I haven't fully maxed her out. So that's fine. Yes, just another witness. Alright, what are we waiting for? Let's get this guy. And get him good. I wonder if they understand that all I can do is present evidence to the testimony. Yeah, it sounds like they want me to just fight this man. Yes, there was no way for you to move the body. Alright. About that, dumbass. Tap, tap. Actually, I do believe there was a way to transport the body out of the theater. Perhaps you should give this a look. What is that supposed to be? It's footage from a security camera that captured the state of the immigration area. Should I congratulate you on getting your hands on it? Just letting you know that we're not the only ones watching your every movement. I saw 3 A12s on him since the CT crates have no fucking clue what to do with her yet. I mean, your best option is to just let her sit there if you have SAT 12. Or SAT 8, excuse me, not SAT 12, Jesus Christ. But if you have SAT 8, there really is no need to use AA 12. Fuck, if you have a lot of shotguns, there's no real need to use AA 12. Thank you for the warning. Now, if you could take a good look at this section here. This lump here inside the pushcart. Do you know what it is? Should I? Because I don't. In that case, allow me to enlighten you. This is the cause of the unnatural lump under the cloth in the pushcart. This? Yeah, okay. Because I couldn't present him. I thought that would be a time where I present his profile, but I couldn't switch over to profile, and it was like maybe just the notes on the body. Luckily, that worked. What is the meaning of showing me that? It's to say that the unnatural bulge in the pushcart is Mr. Cochin's body. You had the Steel Samurai wheel his body away from the real crime scene. What a guess. But I wonder if you have any evidence to support it. I admit that for now it is but a hypothesis, however. If you can't prove it, then I'm afraid I must be on my way. I don't have any more time to play with you people. There he goes. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Greatest man. Look at him. Yes. This is now the fourth time. It's not the fourth time somebody stepped in on this particular one. It's the third because it was K, then it was Lang, then it was Gumshoe. Who's interjected him and like, wait, we're not done yet. Sorry I took so long, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Gummy? Little does he know. Little does everyone know he's saluting Shiaki? No. Paliano too? No? Yeah, Paliano. Okay, yeah. So Paliano as well. Although Paliano didn't present anything or didn't try to advance the discussion any further. He was just preventing Alba from leaving. Just got a plus attack minus defense line. You hate to see it. Might as well keep summoning. Detective Gumshoe, isn't that the Steel Samurai's pushcart? Yes, sir. I found it in the open stage area. So that's where he went. The detective spirit that Pops left with me. I thought I'd follow my gut and go with it, sir. So, Mr. Edgeworth, is this worth anything to the case? Yes, it just might play a major role in solving this case, Detective. Made like my free unit though. That's valid. Wait, you already pushed 200 orbs onto that banner? Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'm gonna go for a free summon on that one. I don't think I really need any of those units. I think I'm just gonna save everything. Cause while they're neat, like most definitely, I already have enough sword units to last me through the end of time, especially infantry ones. Lion would be neat, but I don't really need a green mage that isn't Yoon. Yoon is great already, and you know, it's just, I don't really see a need to do it. You can just save my orbs for another banner, like for eventually when they add Reyna, which they'll never fucking do. Like Zoinks. But something isn't right. I thought that the entire samurai family was in Alabast. Where exactly in the open air stage area did you find this pushcart? I found it just lying there at the edge of the stage, sir. I ran out of orbs trying to get Rinka, Pepe Hands. I summoned at least. I had to make sure I had to summon at least 2 Rinkas. So I went for I summoned until I got the sparking Rinka where I could pick my own. I'm going in debt. Unfortunate. Yes, sir. On the inside? Yep. Hey, there's blood. Huh? It's blood. This must be Mr. Cochin's blood, which only goes to prove that Mr. Cochin's body was indeed transported by this pushcart. Got him. I believe you understand what this means, correct? You killed Mr. Cochin at this theater, then placed his body inside the pushcart. And then, you forced the Steel Samurai to unwittingly move the body for you. 100% won't be holding on any banner for a month or 2. There is just no need for me to, like, pulling on these banners is neat. Like, I'll do it if I want to pop an orb or 2, but I don't have any need for these units. These guys suck. Every unit I have is better. I forced him to move the body into Alabast. What nonsense. Why would I bother to do such a thing? You were scheduled to make a speech in Alabast, meaning it was difficult for you to make a stop in Babal. However, what if you moved the body to Alabast? Because it was your embassy, you could keep an eye on it and tamper with the evidence, and then you smuggled it out of Alabast. So Larry's moved a body twice as a spirit of justice? Yes. I made the connection when I was thinking about it yesterday, where I was like, oh, he could have gotten the Steel Samurai to move the body in the pushcart, because I was trying to figure out how, if Alba did it, then how the body moved, right? And because it either means that he was killed in Babal and his body was left in Babal, or he was killed elsewhere, either the theater or the Alabastian side, and the body was moved back to Babal. So the question was, how did the body move? We didn't see anything that could move the body except for the pushcart. And I was like, well, no, that doesn't make sense because Larry was pushing the pushcart. Unless somebody tricked him into moving the body for him, in which case that makes it twice now he's unknowingly moved the body of a murder. If I can show how you moved the body from Alabast to Babal, then I will. But you can't. Are you sure? Because I can just... I got you. The security between the 2 countries is incredibly tight. I'll be the one who can judge whether or not I cannot prove it. This is the first time, technically? Yeah, chronologically this is the first time, but it's the second time we're seeing it on stream. And so I ask you to provide us with testimony regarding your movements after you return to Alabast. Miles Edgeworth, have you figured it out? Do you know how the body was moved? To be honest, I have nothing to support my hypothesis at this time. However, I don't believe I've made a mistake in my logic up to this point. Which means, there is no question that can't be answered right. The primitive statue was smuggled successfully through a brief flight through the air. So why shouldn't there be an answer as to how the body was moved? Which means that there must be a logic flaw somewhere I can exploit. Then he saw a body being moved in 3-5, yeah. And he didn't do anything about it. After I returned to Alabast, I had my picture taken with a steel samurai shaking hands. Then just as I was about to start my speech, the Yatagarasu appeared. I feared for the national treasures, so I raced back to my office. Ooh. Is that all? Yes, that's all.
Objection!
It looks like you left out a few things, such as the murder of Damask II. Furthermore, you left out the part with meeting with me in your office. Ah, those trifling matters. I don't believe I need to speak of those things again. I do so hate to waste time. What? Is not every life precious? Do you really need me to answer that for you? People like you cannot be allowed to wander freely through society. Iwatako? Pog. Then you better try hard, because I doubt you'll find a single contradiction. He's really full of himself, isn't he? Yes, he is. How can he be so confident at a time like this? Come on, don't be shy. Go ahead and ask whatever you'd like. Alright. Sounds like it's press time. Why was it only with the Steel Samurai? I thought the Pink Princess was also around. The Pink Princess was suffering from a bad hip at the time, and the doctors recommended that she rest. Wow, so you do have a soft side after all. The pain of a bad hip. I suppose none of you can really understand how it feels. Oh, so you tend to strain your back as well, huh? But isn't that just because you're normally all hunched over? Valid. You did need to keep up the act no matter what, I supposed. The point of this is not to discuss my back problems. For about 15 minutes after our handshake, I was in my office preparing for the speech. Alright. It just seems like we're going to press everything. The Yatagarasu was just a trick that you would set up. A most amusing joke. And how do you propose that I set it up? If you really want to know, I can explain it in detail for you. You arrange the spotlights in the Rose Garden so that when you were to take the stage, the audience would see the Yatagarasu's shadow. Oh, that's an interesting tale. Sadly, it has nothing to do with me. What's it gonna take for you to fess up to anything? Very well then, let's move to a different question. After the Yatagarasu appeared, what was the state of the Rose Garden? Everyone took refuge inside of the embassy. I even helped with the effort. And then once everyone was inside, well... That was a big yawn. Big sleepy boys. So he feared for the national treasures and ran back to his office. And what happened after you returned to your office? I don't want to keep on repeating this, however. Upon my return, I had that stroke of bad luck and bumped into Mask Man.
Objection!
And I don't want to keep on repeating this either. But his name was Damask II. Who cares what he was called? By the time he got to the primitive statue that he was supposed to steal, it had already been swapped for the fake. Talk about an unlucky man. With a fake statue. Being bludgeoned at... Wait, it was already swapped? So did Damask II swap the statues the first time? And then Alba wanted to swap them back so he could have the plates back? Miss Von Karma is really letting her whip fly now. Eek. I think the scary part is the silence when she's doing it. She must be at the limit of her patience as well. But physical attacks are meaningless here. Only evidence will suffice. I can't find a single flaw in his argument. At this rate, I won't be able to actually prove that he is guilty of anything. Are we finished here? Miles Edgeworth, can you not come up with how the body was moved to Babal? Sir. Mr. Edgeworth. Even after proving so much, is he gonna get away with it? Is this the end? Come on, Mia. Wait. It appears we made it. Ooh! No. God fucking damn it. I thought for a split second it was going to be Phoenix. I thought Phoenix Wright was going to have an actual appearance in this game. God damn it. Larry probably holds actual babies like that. I believe it. It would be a great honor if you would allow us to be your allies in battle. Evil Magistrate, it is time for you to pay. It's the Steel Samurai? No, you are mistaken, for I am Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of Neo Old Tokyo. And this is Pink Princess Mommy. Edgy Poo. The two people that I wanted to see the least. Larry, what are you two doing here? Way to show your gratitude, Edgy. We just wanted to help. Yeesh. I'm gonna get the bad guy with a single thrust of my samurai spear. Go away. How can you be so mean to us, Edgy Poo? All three of us came to lend a hand, and this is how you treat us? Well, isn't this grand? And I see they managed to find the Iron Infant. Does that really matter right now? Hey! Is it just me or is the Iron Infant completely soaked? Huh? Oh yeah. I found him in a ball, but he was in the middle of a pool. Wait a second. Wait, does the water from the rose garden drain to... Okay, I get it now. I get it now. Interesting. Larry, go back to what you just said. Huh? Oh, it appears we made not that far back. Something about finding the Iron Infinite in Bubble. And he found it in a pool. I don't recall there being one in Bubble. Oh, that. Well, I was in Alabasta the whole time, so I have no idea how the Iron Infinite wound up in the ball. I thought I had lost him in the Rose Garden, but I guess maybe this cute kid can swim, huh? Wait, what? Larry, you lost the Iron Infinite in the Rose Garden. Are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm sure, but I found him in... That's enough, Larry. The Iron Infant that Larry lost managed to move between the two countries. Furthermore, the Iron Infant was found and soaked in the middle of a pool. This is what I've been looking for. It's another smuggling route between the countries. The key to the route that the Iron Infant took to travel from Alabasta to Babald is bilateral symmetry. That's right, this embassy was built with bilateral symmetry in mind. Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir. There is a location I wish for you to examine post-haste. It is where I believe the route to the smuggled Mr. Cochin's body lies. Does something like that really exist, sir? An embassy built on bilateral symmetry. I assume like right here? Has to be like right here, right? Yes, sir. I'll be back before you know. Imagine almost getting away with murder and then Larry fucking Butts comes out of nowhere with new evidence. It's too late. It doesn't matter what you do now. It's all a waste of time. You will stay here with us and wait. This is Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, it's here, sir. There's a reservoir here, just like in the Rose Garden. Just as I suspected. What is it? The two sides of this embassy are mirror images of each other, which means that there is also a pool at the corresponding location on the Babalese side. Mr. Cochin's body was moved into Babal through this pool, through the pool in Alabast. Avoiding the topic with a vague answer like that is unbecoming of a prosecutor. If you don't mind, I'd like to see more physical proof, if you have any. Well, the Iron Infant is positively soaked in water. Why do you think that is? It's because he was fished out of a pool, and not just any pool, it was the Babalese one. I think it's pretty obvious at this point what must be true. The water reservoirs in the two courtyards are connected. And where is your proof that the two sides are connected? The proof is right there before your eyes. The half-drowned Iron Infant. This blasted doll! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm back. Hey, don't tell me you guys figured out everything without me. We did thanks to this hero of justice's son. Even if he is just a doll, he managed to help foil the villain. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, look, I don't want to say this, but it's kind of unlikely that the body just happened to have passed on through to Babal. This guy's a doll, and he's small, so I can believe he made it, but he has a point. Yes, that's right. I'm glad someone here understands. Mr. Edgeworth, are you going to propose that a dead body can swim through a pipe? You see, Mr. Prosecutor, our chase after this man is far from over. Agent Lang. Why is he helping Mr. Alba out now? He's not. He realized a flaw in my argument is helping move the logic along. In which case, I shall return the favor and find an answer. And another thing. Mr. Cochin's body was found in his office in Babal. So what happened to his body after it was transported to the open-air stage? Well, we can just say that fucking, that we can say Miss You did, right? Or Sheena, or whatever you want to call her. The third Yatagarasu member. The sixth Spice Girl. Mr. Alba had an accomplice in Babal, remember? You mean Sheena, right? With her there, you can see how it was possible to move the body up to the office. Are you seriously claiming that she swam through the connecting pipe with the body? He's right. Miss Sheena would drown if she did that. It's hard to imagine that she swam through the connecting pipe. It looks like your hypothesis about how the body was moved is still only half-baked. In the end, it's all just befuddling musings of an accusatory man. Now then, I believe you should give up and allow me passage. Oh, so you're asking me now? Unfortunately, no. Because from the start, there was no feasible method of transporting the body. Well, no, because you're assuming that the reservoirs were filled the entire time. They were drained because they had to use the water for the fires, which is why the fires were started. What? Mr. Prosecutor, recall Sheena's movements. What was happening in the embassy around the time Miss Sheena was in Babal? Oh, if only there was a way to get rid of the water in the pool. Get rid of the water. Aha, that's it. Now I believe this time we are really done, right? Nope. Unfortunately for you, this is far from over, Mr. Alba. You are a most persistent man. Are you saying that you've thought of a way to move the body through the water? Move the body through the water? That is completely unrelated to how it was done. Excuse me? The reason I say that is because there wasn't any water there at the time. What do you mean there wasn't any water? Just what it sounds like. Tonight's events made it possible to drain the water, allowing the body to be moved. We do have the fires as evidence, right? Yeah, we do. Tonight, the Yatagarasu set fire to a variety of locations in the Babalese embassy. In order to put the fires out, much of the reservoir's water was used. Of course, when the water was used, the reservoir's water level went down. If enough water was drained, the connecting pipe could have been used to traverse the border. So what? So you drain the water with the fire. The water level went down, the reservoirs are connected. Does any of this matter? You can't prove any of it. We can prove it. We can just go look at the pools. Chauffeur about to burn this YouTube cipher to the ground. YouTube cipher, go next. Pretending to be ignorant won't work with me. We both know what kind of situation we're in right now. Even in a game, there comes a critical game-changing moment. A moment in which you hit a wall that you must overcome in order to beat the game. Because it's all about the game, and how you play it. I haven't lost yet. I found the route you use to smuggle the body, and that route will lead to your defeat. Even if all the water was used by the firefighting effort, you still can't really call that a smuggling route. I know that. I should have figured you would notice. Hey, Mr. Alba, how deep are those pools anyway? They're extremely deep, and there are no ladders or footholds along the walls either. It will be difficult for Sheena to hold the body up and climb out of the pool. Ladders or footholds along the wall. There was no need for such things. What do you mean? The water level rose, dipshit. If one were to use a certain something, they could go up or down the pool it would. Looks like you got an answer already. Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Prosecutor? Enlighten us already. The way in which Machina and the body were able to rise up to ground level. If there was a way to control the water level, that could be the way the body was moved. The pool automatically refills. This was used so that the body and Machina could move up and down the pool. The fountain spouts. Mr. Alba used the fountain spouts in a manner of speaking. He used the fountain spouts? How so? The water level in the pools can be controlled by opening and closing the spouts. Machina and the body were lifted upward by their buoyancy in the water. The fire on the Babalese side and the firefighting effort. These were set in motion for the sake of smuggling Mr. Cochin's body. Because remember, the fires on the 5th and 4th floor were planned. The fire on the 3rd floor wasn't, right? So shall I show you where the final destination of my train of logic leads? First, Mr. Alba closed the fountain spouts in advance, in preparation of things to come.
Oh shit!
Here's my imaginary rent. Now I'm going to jail.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Hyperion, for sticking with us for another month. Appreciate you, brother. Then he took the pushcart that was brought to the Rose Garden and pushed it in, along with the Iron Infant and Mr. Cochin's body, into the pool. At this time, Machina was busy conveniently starting the first fire in Babon. She then made for the open-air stage's pool to wait for the firefighting effort to begin. When the firefighters used the water in that pool, the water level went down. And by the time the fire was put out, the pipe between the two pools was drained, was open. This is when she pushed the pushcart from Alabas to Babon. Once that was accomplished, Mr. Alba simply opened the fountain spouts once more. And the water level rose up to its original level, along with Machina and the body. After that, Machina used the pushcart to carry the body up to the Secretariat's office. There is an elevator in the embassy after all, so you see, even with her small frame, she could have easily transported Mr. Cochin's body. And that wraps up my thorough explanation on how the body was moved. Oh. Well, ex-Ambassador Alba, what do you think? Not so untouchable without your precious extraterritorial rights to protect you, are you? I knew you could do it, Mr. Edgeworth. Way to fight back. You accuse me of moving the body across country lines. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you don't have what it takes to indict me. The nitty-gritty? What does the old man want now? Proof, I believe, is what he seeks. Yes, proof. Without any, who is to say whether or not any of what you said really happened? He wants proof? What are we going to do, Mr. Edgeworth? There is no need to worry. I've had all the proof we need all along. The body wasn't the only thing to go through the pool's connecting pipe tonight. Just as Detective Gumshoe found the pushcart in the open-air stage area, so too did I find one other item there. And that piece of evidence is what will prove that the pools were the smuggling route. There was another thing that was smuggled over to Babal's open-air stage area. The pick? Question mark?
Take that!
And what exactly is this? You have no idea, do you? This little piece I found on the Babalee side will be your undoing. A guitar pick? Would you care to explain how that is going to do me in, as it were? Much to your chagrin, perhaps this is not a guitar pick. What? This is something I found at the open-air stage, which was transported with the body. Wait. Okay, I see. I naturally assumed that you would recognize it, since you took a photo with it after all. But since you don't, allow me to fill you in on what I found at the stage actually belongs to.
Take that!
Let us take a good look at the murder weapon that was used to kill Manny Cochin. On the handle of this knife there is a beautifully blooming flower. However, it would appear that it is missing a single petal. Now, let's see what happens when we try to fit this pick in that open slot. It's a perfect fit. I assume that the petal must have fallen off the flower during Mr. Cochin's murder, and then it was accidentally placed into the pushcart along with Mr. Cochin's body. That's an interesting story, nothing more. Oh, I assure you, it's more than just a story, because for some odd reason this flower petal was wet when I found it. It was wet, you say? Yes, and the only place it could have gotten wet from is the open-air stage's pool. Now I ask you, how did a part of a weapon which was smuggled into the theater wind up in the open-air stage area on the Babalee side of the embassy? I don't think I need to waste any words explaining this, as the petal explains it all for me. It proves that someone went from the Rose Gardens pool on through to Babal. Impossible! The people of Zangfa have been waiting to see you face to face, Mr. Alba. Once everyone back home will be there soon. You should be happy. Why? Why? It's a little late to be asking that question. You should have known from the very beginning, when you took your first life. No matter how you may plot or how you may try to cover it all, you can never hide from your crime and what you've done. Because we're here to see to it that justice is served to people like you. You can call what you've given a perfect argument. We're doing this again, aren't we? You know, I don't think this guy is going to ever admit to his wrongdoings, Mr. Edgeworth. Because he values himself above all else. People who can't be negotiated with, or people who refuse to admit when they've lost, I don't believe those kinds of people really exist, because everyone eventually breaks. You're right. In that case, I have no choice but to use all of the evidence I have. I'll use it all until he breaks under the weight of his crimes. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more.
Well,
This really will be the end of the line.
to be continued. Okay, we're moving on to the end. That second part wasn't as nearly as long as I thought it would be, but it was still decently long. Long enough. March 15th, 3:33 a.m. No one watched The Exorcist. Theatre Neutralis lobby.
Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more. As if there is anything else for me to testify about. I still have yet to fully prove that it was Mr. Albert who murdered Mr. Cochin. Well, I would like to hear about your movements before the murder occurred. I wonder if you could tell us about what you did here at Theatrum Neutralis. Very well. I suppose I could tell you about that. Because all I did was watch the Steel Samurai stage show. Elaborating on even that alone is good enough for me. The only way for me to place this man under arrest is to pinpoint the exact location of where the murder took place, for that is the key to this investigation. Because I was thinking for a second there, like, there wasn't any way that the murder was taking place in the actual theater, like, because he had his picture taken with a knife that had already lost one of the pieces of the pommel, right? So there wasn't a way that he could take a picture with a piece of the pommel missing if the murder hadn't already been committed and it already hadn't been used. Because then the pick appears on the Baba Lee's side, and there we go. This case should end at Sheena. Alba's dragged out so long. I agree. It feels like they're dragging this out just to make it so that you solve every specific piece of the murder. But when it ends with Sheena and it's like, okay, you still have to solve the murder, and then part one is like, okay, Alba did it. Now prove. The Steel Samurai show. I watched from the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience. I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. I do remember the contents of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you? Those moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them. So, I want him to tell me about the show. So you were in the theater proper, watching the Steel Samurai stage show, were you? Of course I was. I have a great fondness for the Steel Samurai. Heh, yeah, I was pretty cool up there, wasn't I? You're not the only one. You're not the one who was cool. It was the Steel Samurai who was cool. Yeah, and the Steel Samurai's special finishing move today was really something, huh? Huh? Hey, Edgy, who is she? Who is this super cute... Larry. Larry, back up. Larry, back up. Why is it every time, Larry? Larry, just back up. She's 17, man, back up. She's been standing here this whole time, and only now he notices her. Her name is Kay Faraday, and she's helping me in my investigation. Sorry I didn't get to introduce myself earlier, but better late than never. Yeah, it's okay. I'm Larry Butts. Silence in the peanut gallery. There's no time for such trivialities at a time like this. Mr. Prosecutor, this is the final battle, you got that? I know. This is the end. For that man there. Sick burn. Good job. Quite literally, it's the fucking Jotaro shit. Nice watch. You won't be able to read it after I break it. Your face, that is. At least she's not 9. I mean, Larry's track record is awful. First Maya when she was 17, then Pearl at age 9, and then, he didn't say anything about Trucy, did he? In Spirit of Justice? I don't think he did. But, and then fucking Kay Faraday, age 17. Like, it's rough. Now, that's the kind of thing I like to hear. I think I'll give trusting you a try, Mr. Prosecutor. Or rather, Mr. Edgeworth. He comes to trust us. I leave this critical battle up to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Have no fear. I will finish the job. I think he's smart enough to back off with his best friend's daughter. Yeah, you would think. This really is the endgame. The time has come to expose every last one of Mr. Alba's lies. Alright. So, talk to me about the show, right? You saw it? Tell me about it. Well, I remember the contents of the show as well myself. He did actually bond well with Pearl when they met. Yeah, I wonder why. That's nice. That's nice. Miles Edgeworth, don't allow yourself to be riled up by him at this important juncture. I wasn't planning to let him. Well, if you ask me, I think I'm the biggest Steel Samurai expert around here. And didn't you think the climactic scene of today's show was just totally awesome? Yes, I remember that well. That spectacular special move. The way you delivered the final blow against the evil magistrate, the early summer rain jab. No, because he had to change it, because Larry Butts is a fucking moron and broke the spear. Oh, that scene will live on in my heart forever. Is that how it went? I totally forgot about that. How can you forget your own special moves? That's a special attack the Steel Samurai uses when he's using the Samurai Spear. Yes, and today was the first time they showed it off, was it not? If I hadn't watched the show, then how could I answer you with the name of the move? They changed it to what? They changed it to the slash? Because they said they had to change it from the early summer rain jab because Larry broke the fucking spear. I suppose you are correct, but if you could, please elaborate on this point for me. Never before seen early summer rain jab move. Yeah, about that. Let me present to you that Larry is a moron. Larry, being an idiot, helps us again. He's a trusty moron. The special move today was the early summer rain jab. Is that your final answer? You little irritating gnat. Do you think you can trip me up by asking the same question over and over? That was not my intention. Your testimony is more than sufficient. However, I believe it would be wise for you to take a look at this. The samurai spear? What about it? This spear actually never made it on stage today. Excuse me? Shake. Unfortunately for you, tonight's Steel Samurai happened to be a goof of a young man with an abundance of useless hot-bloodedness. Shit on. Having said that, said useless man bent the spear during his first rehearsal this evening. Kay, do you remember what the Steel Samurai special move tonight was? It was the Steel Samurai Sushi Slash. Got him. GG's. Correct. Because he couldn't use the spear, a last-minute change was made. Had you really been watching the show, you would have known the move that was used. Quercus Alba. You didn't watch even a single minute of the Steel Samurai stage show tonight, did you? Got him. So if he wasn't watching the stage show tonight, then it opens up the possibility that he was busy killing Mr. Cochin instead. Yup. So where were you during the show? I demand an answer now. Yeah. Just what is so funny? You're so sloppy. And so are your conclusions. I still insist that I watch the show, or most of it in any case. I love the subtle change that Lang is now on the left side. Yeah, it appears that whoever, like, Edgeworth is, being supported by moves over to the left, and who he's trying to figure out testimony against is on the right. Because, like, when we went back up to Alba's office and Lang was trying to present, like, oh, Franziska is the culprit for his bait, Franziska's on the right as well, even though she's on Edgeworth's side, right? It's got some neat stuff. What do you mean by most of it? You see, during the show, I left my seat for a spell to visit the bathroom. I assume that was when the dramatic scene that was played out on stage. That is the lousiest, lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life, pal. Just because he got the name of the move wrong. We can't really use that as proof he didn't watch the show at all. As a fan of the Steel Samurai, I had wanted to watch the entire show. Honest. As a Steel Samurai fan, for someone who wasn't even in his seat for the climax of the show, you have no right to call yourself a Steel Samurai fan, ever. Well, never in my days did I think that I'd see Miles Edgeworth align with my fucking interest of gatekeeping. But there he goes. Why did you put your helmets back on? Are you guys fucking dumb? Who was that just now? It would be I, young lady!
Larry, what are you doing interrupting me like that?
Edgy, just hold on for a second, I beg. You may never accept this man as this old man is a Steel Samurai fan, but I totally think he's a Steel Samaniac? Samaniac? I think it's Samaniac? Steel Samaniac? What exactly is a Steel Samaniac, thou? I believe you meant to say Steel Samurai Maniac. Yeah, and trust me, I know a real fan when I see one because I'm the Steel Samurai.
I will never acknowledge you as the true Steel Samurai.
What are you getting so worked up over, Mr. Edgeworth? It appears that the real Steel Samurai recognizes me as a fan. As well he should, as for I am a fan. It's not as though I missed the entire show. Hang Larry in the gallows for that. Yeah. Or just beat his ass. It was the most amazing show, filled with the spirit of the young and the young at heart. The sarcasm dripping from his long wooden nose couldn't run any thicker.
Getting the name of the move wrong only proves that he didn't watch the last scene. What I really need here is something more definitive. Something that links Mr. Alba directly to the murder of Mr. Manicochi.
You know what, Gramps? You're really something else. I'm honored to receive such praise from the Steel Samurai, but what is it for? Well, I was just wondering how you found out about the early summer rain jab. That move is a bit of a secret that only a small portion of the staff knows about.
Wait, it was a secret. Larry, wait, what did you just say?
Huh? Did I say something stupid again?
Did you say that the early summer rain jab was actually a secret?
Well, maybe I said secret. It's more like we only decided on the name of the move right before the start of the show. Right before? Yeah, the stage director was going nuts because we were supposed to debut the move. About 5 minutes before the show, we threw it up on the dressing room's whiteboard. Early summer rain jab. That's kind of how we decided to name the move. But by that time, I guess I already bent the spear, so I guess the whole thing was kind of pointless. All of you Steel Samurai actors are the same. Oh, missed that last line. So basically, because we changed the move to the Sushi Slash, we kind of pretended that the early summer rain jab didn't exist at all. I mean, it'd be bad if someone found out we changed the move, so we made it a secret.
So basically, a gag order was issued for publicity's sake.
It almost makes the early summer rain jab sound like a lost art. Well, no. The more that we talk about it, it proves that he went to the dressing room to get the push cart. To get the push cart for the body. Yeah, which is why I think most of the staff haven't even heard of the move.
Hold those lips of yours still.
What the heck, old man?
I've done nothing but listen, and from what I can tell, it's all very unrelated to the case. It's also very tedious and a pointless exercise in wasting time, much like a kid's show.
You're not a true fan at all.
Mr. Alba, I believe the one who should be quiet now is you. How dare you? I suspect that you already noticed exactly what the very severe implications are in this man's testimony.
So now you're trying to bully me, huh?
There are no implications to be read into a behind-the-scenes story of a kid's show.
Don't even think about trying to slither your way out of this, Quercus Alba.
You were the one who said it yourself, that the name of the move was Early Summer Ranger, where that name was only decided upon right before the show was about to start.
So, just what are you driving at? That the name of the movie told us was never used in the show or said aloud.
Now then, would you care to tell us about how you found out the name of that move?
The Not So Fast is probably one of the things I enjoy more about Shilong. It kind of sucks that he doesn't pull up for the mainline games, cause he's pretty clean. I would have loved to see him like make an appearance as like an investigator. That would have been really neat. Because I can only think of one way you could have known.
Quercus Alba. This is the only way you could have known the name of the special move. You saw it.
You knew the name because you saw it. You saw it on the dressing room's whiteboard. The staff members who knew were keeping it a secret, so you couldn't have simply gone up to a staff member and asked. Which means that the only other option left is that you saw it on the whiteboard. So that means Mr. Alba was in the waiting room at some point, right? What's the big deal, sir? I don't see what that means. There is another piece of evidence that has a great deal to do with the dressing room, so we can't afford to let this slide. This is related to both the dressing room and Mr. Cochin's murder. Big pushcart?
Take that!
The pushcart that was used to move the body was right there in the dressing room. During the show, the pushcart awaited its turn to be pushed on stage in the dressing room. And it was finally pushed there along with the Iron Infant in the last scene of the show. And then right after the show ended, it went into Alabasta along with the Steel Samurai. Which means that the only time the killer could have placed the body inside the pushcart was when the pushcart was in the dressing room backstage.
So basically, the killer has to be someone who visited the dressing room during the show.
Precisely.
Got him again. Oh, but wait. What if, and this is just a what if the murder didn't take place in the dressing room?
What do you mean, Kay? I have to admit, she brings up a valid possibility. During the show, the dressing room was supposed to be devoid of people.
Anyone going into the private dressing room would stand out like a sore thumb. But despite that, the killer still managed to move the body with the pushcart.
Correct, and it is because of the setup of the theater's dressing room that it would be ideal location for the murder of Manny Cochin. Corcus Albert, during the show, you went down to the dressing room, and I want to know why.
Yes. Yes, I was there. I went into the dressing room. I knew it. I'm placing you under arrest right now, pal. You got that? Arrest. Not so fast. What is it now?
Don't I deserve a chance to explain myself? Explain? What is there to explain?
I believe I told you earlier that I went to the bathroom. Well, I got lost when I did. I wanted to ask for directions, but when I opened the dressing room, there was no one inside. That's when I saw the name of the move on the whiteboard. Punk's still trying to get out of this.
Do you really think you can get away at this point?
Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything you can do to stop him?
Yeah, just go link potentially close swap him with Nekamara, with their pictures comparing the both of them on search alone. Yeah, I'd feel. The hair is definitely similar. Although Nekomaru is definitely the stronger of the two. That's the homie right there. Been the homie, big homie. I don't have enough evidence on hand to do anything. I don't have the airtight evidence I need to put this man away for good. But if that's what I need, then perhaps... Agent Lang, I believe an investigation of the dressing room is in order. It's possible that we may find new evidence there.
Yeah, if Mr. Edgeworth pokes around in there, I'm sure he'll find some new facts, pal. Ooh, and if we use Little Thief, we may even learn something from a recreation.
We don't need to do any of that.
What? Wolfie, how could you?
Lang remembers everything about his men and took a bullet for Sheena. That's the homie. However, Nekomaru Need-Eye is still up there. It's just that. We've already searched there. My men really are something else. And they found nothing. There's only one thing I can say to you, sis, and that's they found nothing. That's it. I guess you're right. If they had found something, they would have reported it to us. The only reason Nekomaru is so big because he ate Ashnard? No. What? Is it just because of the fucking GHB coming out that you're doing all this Ashnard posting? They couldn't find anything because there was nothing to find. And if there's no info to feed a Little Thief, then I can't do much to help either. Is this the... The murder took place in this theater, which is not protected under extraterritorial rights, and the fact that it was Mr. Alba himself who committed the murder. If I can't prove both statements to be true, Mr. Alba walks away a free man. Is there no other course of action left to us? It would appear that your hand of cards has turned out to be a bust. Now, if you'll excuse me, because of you people, I missed my flight. Now I must make haste to arrange for a new one. Who's holding it? Who is it this time? What do you want, Wendy? Hold it right there, you whippersnappers. First Larry and now you. What is it with that scary mobster-like scowl on your face, Edgy Poo? Don't treat me like I'm some sort of nuisance. I've been meaning to say this, but you all keep talking about things I don't get at all. You're all leaving this lady in the sad, depressing, lonely dust that I'm about to cry in. He ate the damn wyvern too? No. Why do you have to speak up right at this instant? But you know what, Edgy Poo? Cheer up. Because I'm about to give you the most wonderful thing. The most wonderful thing from you. It's so super special that I couldn't give it away to just anyone, you know. Did anyone show you the trailer for the DLC case in Spirit of Justice? No, I just kind of loaded it up and started playing. Ah, my special present of love to my sweet Edgy Poo. Are you ready? Is this? Are you... I don't want more samurai dogs. It's a box of those samurai dogs, right? Yes. Oh, Edgy Poo, here, go on and eat one and you'll feel as right as rain. This bitch. Are we through here? Why did everyone get so quiet all of a sudden? Edgy Poo, tell me you understand the depths of this lady's love for you. Capcom made a courtroom trailer for the game. They were trying to figure out which old character was returning and Old Bag thought it was her. No. That's tragic. I'm not one to hand out snacks willy-nilly, you know. No, sir. Okay. Wendy, okay, I get it. Mr. Edgeworth, can't you do anything about her? There is no power on Earth that can force that woman into silence. But I'm so sick and tired of it all. All you people do is look down on me. Even this box of samurai dogs has played me for a fool. It has special design on its fan, like the Japanese flag, so I thought it was special. But when I ate one, it tasted like all the rest. Wait. It has a special design like the Japanese flag? So, one red dot in the middle of white? Wait, a special box with a Hinamaru-like fan on it. I've never heard of such a piece of merchandise existing before. However, there it is. The red rising sun on this fan is filled in. Is it possible? Could it be? Yeah. After the show, the samurai dogs were piled up on the dressing room floor. However, there is no such thing as a rising sun dog. This contradiction of facts between something that should not exist yet does. The rays from this rising sun may just be what we needed to point us in the right direction. Alright. A crate of samurai dogs. I believe you understand what this means, correct? Edgeworth said it can't be her since her sprite isn't updated. That's fucked. You cute. Alright, body in the pushcart. We're just getting some flashback scenes. I assume we're going to be kicked right into logic mode after this, since they're giving us all this logic. It's time to piece the final pieces of this logic puzzle together. No matter how fragile or small the connections may be, once we found out them all, the way to the truth will be revealed. Yeah. Okay. Old Bag took like 5 cases to finally do something useful. Yeah, and it's a tragedy because the thing that she did that was useful wasn't even intended by her to be useful. Granted, you can say that about a lot of things, like Larry just now. Larry's stupidity often causes him to be useful. But this was just fucking... This is Old Bag just being dumb. I wanted to give you these hot dogs. Thanks, I guess? Alright. Samurai dogs, body in a pushcart. Let's go.
The killer used the pushcart to transport the body, which means that they had to remove the samurai dogs from within first. Therefore, the samurai dogs that were piled up on the dressing room floor were most likely taken out of the pushcart by the killer.
Alright. I figured we would get more.
That which should not exist. This box of samurai dogs with a Hinomaru on it. If this red rising sun was filled in when the killer was busy removing the dogs from the pushcart, then it's proof that the murder took place in the dressing room, as long as this red substance turns out what I believe it to be. Wendy Oldbag. I thank you.
Look how happy she is.
What you have given me is something very truly special.
Edgy poo. Mr. Edgeworth, are you sure you're feeling okay, sir?
Mr. Alba, as I suspected, you killed Mr. Cochin in the dressing room.
How many times must I listen to you repeat yourself? Haven't you figured it out yet? Your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. The only way I'm going to continue to cooperate is with some definitive evidence.
That arrogance, that self-confidence. You believe you've erased every piece of evidence that could incriminate you. However, there remains one piece here, and it is what will put you away for good.
You're bluffing. Haha. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, sounds like you finally found them. You finally found the fangs we need to go after this guy's jugular. So tell us, what about that box of samurai dogs is gonna put the old man away?
The trace evidence that will bring him down. Why, it's here, of course.
Alright.
This box of samurai dogs with a rising sun fan on it, this should have never existed. So I want you to take a good look at this red spot. It's a single drop of blood.
Huh? What? What do you say?
Agent Lang, I'd like this blood analyzed post-haste.
Got to admit, I'm a bit surprised. I can't believe we found blood in a place like this. Him to say Fangs, now he's about to make me act up and line his post about him. Yeah. If you think about it, this guy is just a combination of Longku, Nekamaru, and Linus. He's all three of those characters rolled up into one. Hey you, get this dab to the lab pronto. But why was there blood on that box to begin with?
If we think about the flow of the crime, I think the reason will become obvious. Larry, you said that you transported the samurai dogs with the pushcart, correct?
Yeah, you have a great memory, Edgy. That pushcart was a bit too big for my son, you know what I mean? So to make sure everyone could see him, I had to pile some stuff in. I figured the samurai dogs were there, so I used them to fill up the cart.
If what Larry says is true, then what were the boxes doing on the floor?
I see. The killer took them out in order to place the body in the pushcart.
Exactly, and that is when I believe the victim's blood found its way onto that box.
When my men investigated that room, not a single box of samurai dogs was in there, because embassy staff members had already confiscated them.
Yes, no doubt to hide the evidence of the murder.
It's a good thing Miss Oldbag managed to steal the one box before they got to them, huh? Looks like Miss Oldbag has also managed to put this great thief to shame. What a scandalous way of putting that. I didn't steal, I received them. I received it from myself. Wait, what?
Quercus Alba, I'd say this was one of very fatal oversight on your part.
Sorry to rain on your little love fest, however...
How? How can he be so self-confident in a no-win situation for him like this?
Even if that blood turns out to belong to Mr. Cochin, then what? Heh. So, Mr. Edgeworth, it sounds like he's not ready to call it quits yet, huh?
The sole piece of evidence that was left at the scene of the crime, that alone has shed light on a new fact. At the very least, we now have proof that the murder had occurred in the dressing room.
And? You say that like it means something. Huh? Excuse me, sirs. Report. What were the results of the analysis? Sir, the analysis came back and confirmed that the red substance is blood. I knew it. With this Quercus Alba. But whose blood is it?
Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might humor my question. Your question.
The one from before, or have you forgotten? Check Discord. What did you do, Jushi? Uh-oh. This is fantastic. Nah. Fucking Hiyoko in the Maya fit is hilarious. No, not Hiyoko. Ibuki in the Maya fit. Hiyoko wearing pearl is just tragic. And Nekamaru as Furio Tigre just fits. That one's just natural. Alright. Even if that is Mr. Kochin's blood, what difference would it make? Like we already told you, it proves that the crime scene was that dressing room. But it doesn't prove that I am your killer, does it? That's a very good point. The blood on that box doesn't prove that Mr. Alba is the killer. Then this evidence, it's meaningless. That can't be. We were so close, sir. All I need is the forensics team to say it's not Manny Kochin's blood. That's all he has to say. And then we're good. If it's unidentified blood, then we can just say it's Quirkus. Right? I want to smack that smug look off his face. Come on, there's got to be something we can do. We finally found a solid piece of evidence. There must be something I can expose with it. I can't think of a single thing. Don't laugh. Oh, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way. Hussein, hold it. Who was that? It's too late. I won't allow anyone to stop me now. It wasn't me, pal. And it wasn't me this time, either. It wasn't me, either. It was me! Why did you... because I haven't finished reporting everything to you yet, sir. There's more. What? Hurry up and spit it out. Yes, sir. That blood I mentioned. It's not of the same blood type as the victim's blood. Thank you, random forensics man. What? No. What? Grunt tier list, S tier, this guy. What do you mean it's not the same type? You mean it's not the same... It's not the victim's blood? If it isn't his, then whose the hell is it? I don't know, sir. All I know is that it's not the same blood type as the victim, sir. What should we do now, Mr. Edgeworth? I have no idea what's what anymore. Neither do I. My, what an amusing turn of events. That blood drop proved to be something true, all right. Namely, my words. And which one of your words was that be? The ones where I said your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. That blood has nothing to do with the murder investigation whatsoever. Need I remind you that the blood got onto the box long before it entered my embassy? What sort of nonsense? Yeah, it's blood, pal. There's no way it's not related to the murder. So you would like to believe. Well, what if someone preparing the samurai dogs had a small nosebleed? Then what? I guess that's possible. Damn it. Have we been wasting our time on a red herring? That blood doesn't belong to anyone connected to the case. That should be clue enough. Quirkus Alba, you bastard! A bastard! That in all caps. Silence. Don't you ever address me with such a filthy word again. I've wasted enough time here with you, and you have your answers. Now let me through. Alba, it doesn't matter where you run off to, you'll never escape me. Someday, I'll have the sinking satisfaction of sinking my fangs into you. You'll see. And all of Interpol will be behind me, working to see that see to it that that day comes. Do you know what your words sound like to me? They sound like the whinings of a pathetic loser of a mutt. Don't howl, okay? Is this really the extent of all that we can do?
Is this blood really from someone completely unrelated to the case? Or is there another possibility? Someone else other than the victim? Just when I thought I had him backed into a corner, it is I who has been backed into one. In a situation like this, what would that man do? What would he who can turn any disparate situation around do? Turn it around. That's it. I must turn my way of thinking around.
Literally, never heard Phoenix say it once out loud. What would he do? Oh, he'd probably turn his way of thinking around.
It's not whose blood is this. It's whose blood could get onto the box like this. And if I think about it that way, if the blood got onto the box when the body was being placed into the pushcart, then the owner of said blood must have been in the dressing room at the time. And there is only one person who that could be.
Well, I must praise you for trying so hard. It's because of you kids that I was removed from center stage, and will be forced to live out the rest of my life in the shadows, unfortunately. But it's not a total loss, as the underworld will allow me more freedom than you'll ever know. Freedom like what the raven feels as it flies through the dark night sky. You can't lay a finger on me, not now or ever. I am the arm of the law is powerless before me.
Objection!
Shake that head. Yeah.
Powerless, is it? I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you.
What do you mean?
Allow me to describe to you in one word. Pitiful.
Pitiful? How so?
Quercus alba, your wings were clipped long ago. And for someone who was trying to fly away on them without noticing that fact. Pitiful is the perfect word to describe you.
Mere words. What do you mean by his wings are clipped, Mr. Edgeworth?
Just what do you think it means, Kay? We already had caught him in our trap a little while back. With an incredibly powered device. Definitive piece of evidence.
Hey, Earth to Mr. Prosecutor. Care to speak in English? What are you talking about? What piece of evidence?
The piece I speak of is, of course, this drop of blood. But we know that it's not from the victim.
I don't see how it remains relevant to the case at all.
Miss Von Karma, I believe that is exactly why it's very important to the case. And that part is the most important fact. The most important is the fact that it's not the victim's blood. You're looking a little pale. Good. Then I believe you are already aware of what I mean.
Then you know who the blood belongs to.
Of course I do. This piece of evidence is irrefutable proof that will stop the killer in his tracks. The blood that soiled this box of samurai dogs belongs to this person.
Well, there's only one person who it could be.
Take that!
The blood of the rising sun in this box belongs to you, Quercus alba.
What? Why is his blood on the box of samurai dogs? He's not even a victim.
The blood fell onto the box when Mr. Cochin's body was being loaded into the pushcart. At that time, the only two people in the dressing room were the victim and his killer.
So that's what you mean. If the blood doesn't belong to the victim, then there is only one other person who it could belong to.
Yes, and that person is the murderer himself. That's the only logical conclusion.
But Mr. Cochin was the one who was stabbed, sir. Why would Mr. Alba have been the one who was bleeding?
What if during the murder, Mr. Cochin had fought back?
You mean before Mr. Alba could kill him, Mr. Cochin managed to wound Mr. Alba?
Yes, and I believe we have a piece of evidence that proves he was bleeding then.
What is the piece of evidence that shows Mr. Alba was probably bleeding at the time? I don't know, the fact that he was bleeding at the time?
Take that!
Mr. Alba, you bear on your body a great wound.
That was from when Damascus II attacked me with a pair of scissors. Yeah, and that happened way after he was in the dressing room.
Ah, but is that what really happened? You can manufacture a weapon by smearing blood on it, so I can't just accept that as fact. So we try a test, Mr. Alba, and see if the shape of the wound matches the scissors.
You really are something else, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't let a single thing slip you by, no matter how insignificant the possibility.
You're one to talk, Mr. Alba. You've managed to give the law the slip for 10 years as the smuggling ring's leader.
Itch my ear.
No matter the danger, you can hide every last ounce of fear and anxiety from everyone. You truly are a one-of-a-kind criminal. I am the master of my fear. However, to think that a person such as you could miss such a large thing, you believe I've overlooked something. You said that my wound was caused by Mr. Cochin, and that it was caused here in one of the theater's dressing rooms, right? Yes, that is correct. I'd like to point out that it's simply not possible. My wound is a stab wound, and one that only could have come from a blade. Wonder where you will propose that such a weapon came from. This theater was packed with security guards. It would have been impossible for anyone to come into this area with a weapon of any sort. Man, I wonder if there was any particular weapon that we could have looked at all that could have been a weapon. That doesn't look like a weapon, but is a weapon. That people wouldn't have known as a weapon. Just as Mr. Alba was about to bring the alabaster knife in a bouquet, there must have been some other way to sneak a weapon of some sort in. Ah, but as long as you can't prove what that other way is, all your talk about Mr. Cochin stabbing me is pure nonsense. So if that other way does exist, you better hurry and tell me now. With pleasure. Wait, what? This piece of evidence shows us how Mr. Cochin brought a weapon into this theater. Well, among law enforcement, this piece is known as the Yatagarasu's key. That key. That's the key that my father stole from here 7 years ago. It is very unique in that it is both a key and a knife, meaning that under the guise of a key, it could have easily been brought into the theater. You couldn't dispose of the knife that stabbed you. Therefore, you wiped the blood off and placed it back in Mr. Cochin's pocket. After all, the key itself opens the safe in his office. Inside that safe, there was a document about Cadopian paper signed by Mr. Cochin. In order to make it look like Mr. Cochin died as the leader of the smuggling ring, you had to make it so the police were the ones who opened that office safe. All that hard work to save yourself only served to destroy you in the end. Shall we try matching your knife's blade with the wound, Mr. Quercus Alba? It sounds like GG's to me. And that is what some may call... gotta get it. I gotta go get it. I gotta go get it. The coup de grace. Impossible. You can't take me down. Swine, all of you. Especially Manny Cochin. This is all because that man's betrayal. He sought to steal control of the smuggling ring from me by removing me as ambassador, which is why he deserved to die while bearing the guilt for all of my crimes for me. That is why I sent out the Yatagarasu's card, and how this incident... Wait. You sent the Yatagarasu card out? Manny was supposed to be there. Was supposed to be the smuggling ring's leader who was killed by the Yatagarasu. But I had yet another reason, yet another story that was supposed to play out. Manny's death was supposed to bring everything to a close, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't you meddling prosecutors. And that dog. Mr. Alba, I'm afraid there is one more question I forgot to ask. This country's or Alabast, which country's court would you like to face first? Dog, that's hard. I've been waiting for this Scooby-Doo reference all series. Yes, and we finally got one. No, it's not even and that wolf. Missile was here. Missile helped. Either way, it's game over for you. Edgeworth! Break down, break down. Break down, break down. March 17th, 11:21 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. Oh, this is it. It's the big day. It's Mr. Alba's trial today. And next week he's scheduled to stand trial in his own country of Alabast. Franziska's heading that one. I suspect she'll be serving a full course of whiplashes at it.
Having to face Miss Von Karm in court right after facing you, sir. I don't even want to think of that would be like. I got a glimpse of Mr. Alba as he was being escorted into courtroom. And boy, he looked about as glum as I do the day before I get my monthly paycheck. You know, I've been thinking. That flight attendant and even Mr. Portsman were all Mr. Alba's secret agents.
Correct. That smuggling ring was the common thread between all of the incidents. Camille was to provide support during the smuggling ops, using her job as attendant, and Mr. Portsman was to manipulate trials related to the ring to end in their favor.
Oh, I fly airlines and even the prosecutor's office. No one was safe from the smuggling ring, huh, sir?
I suspect there are even more members of this ring spread throughout the world.
Yeah, it sounds like such a big op that I can't even begin to imagine what it's like.
What is it, Detective?
Nothing. It's just, well, come to think of it, Mr. Ernest Amano's trial already scheduled for later today, sir.
I'm aware of that. Mr. Amano has been working with the smuggling ring now for over 10 years. He used the Amano Group's various connections worldwide to assist the ring. But all of that has come to an end as his conglomerate is now undergoing harsh scrutiny. I owe Mr. Amano a debt of gratitude, but he must pay his debt to society.
Well, with the arrest of both Mr. Alba and Mr. Amano, I guess that about wraps up the KG8 incident as well, huh?
I suppose so. The real killer in the KG8 incident 10 years ago was Manny Kochi. And 7 years ago, the killer in the second KG8 incident was Mac Rell. Those two facts are the unshakable truth, however. It seems that a lot of effort was put into hiding these and other truths from us, and I will expose it all at the trials today.
You're solving cases left and right today, aren't you, sir?
CCU indeed, man. Perhaps now, these two brave souls who tried to make the truth known can rest in peace. By the way, I received some gifts from Ambassador Pagliano. Shrimp, crab, beef. I don't need any of these, so I'm giving them to you.
What? Seriously, sir? Wait, actually, I don't think I want them anymore. The way you're holding them, don't tell me that there's coupons, sir.
Detective Gumshoe, have you not read the paper recently? Ever since the two countries became Cadopi again, its economy has changed.
Really?
And it seems that Ambassador Pagliano has reaped a few benefits of his own from it. He's been announced as the new official ambassador of the newly reunified Cadopia.
But what a pity. Even though every item he sent as a treasure, you don't seem all that interested. Has to be Kay. Well, if you don't want them, I can give them to my lovely assistant, Kay. Wait, that's not what I said. So, Mr. Edgeworth, please let me have them, sir. Actually, come to think of it, where is Kay? How come she's still not here? Hey, you gotta be more alert than that. Hey! I can't believe you didn't notice. I was even mimicking Mr. Edgeworth's voice for a bit. I totally didn't notice you, or realize that voice was you. Lang Z says ferocious love blooms with each new spring.
Agent Lang, a pleasant surprise to see you here.
It's been a long time since I set foot in a courthouse, but I wasn't gonna miss watching the guy who screwed my country up finally get what's coming to him. Well, that and something else. I want to see you in action in court.
Is that so, Agent Lang?
We flushed out all the counterfeit bills so Zangfa is finally at peace again. It's all thanks to you. I just wanted to say thanks. Wow, I never thought I'd see the day where old Wolfie says thanks to Mr. Edgeworth.
I should be the one thanking you, Agent Lang. If you hadn't negated Mr. Alba's extraterritorial rights, I would not have been able to bring him to trial. I believe this victory belongs to the both of us in this case.
A shared victory, huh? Look, don't get me wrong. I'll still never forgive you, prosecutors, and I have zero interest in that truth thing you talk about in court. I've always done things my own way, and it's not about to change. You got that?
Well, I believe you should follow your own creed when you do your job.
And if there's ever someone your precious truth can't catch, feel free to sit around and cry about it all you want. But as for me, I'm gonna get that person no matter what.
Alright, it is about time for the trial to start. I'll see you later.
I'll be watching your performance from the gallery. I look forward to this. I prepared a whole ton of ticker tape for today's victory, sir. I'll help throw some around when Mr. Edgeworth wins. Hope you've got enough, because I'm going to go call my men up as well.
A modest amount of ticker tape goes a long way.
So the question is, who's he facing in court? The scene shifts to the courtroom, and the final act of this long tale begins. The legend of the great thief Yatagarasu. It's the story of those who chose to dedicate their lives to the pursuit of the truth. But Alba's not a prosecutor, or a defense attorney. And to that end, you have no choice but to win by any means necessary. That creed was forced on me since I was very young. However, I do not think this is what we all prosecutors are, and that is because Bob Loserton. Even though I've only been away from the courtroom for a short time, I feel as though it's been a lifetime since I've set foot in one. And today, more than any other day, I feel the fight. Oh. Hey, we didn't even get our own. That's pretty interesting. We do get some scenes, though. They brought Furio Tigre out of jail to defend this case. That'd be pretty good. Thanks to him, I'm still free to serve in the friendly blue skies. Oh, so about my suitcases? I've been selling them on the internet and they've become a real sensation. That's nice. Thanks to the praise the art world has lavished on my work as being truly postmodern. Ah, okay. The airline has chosen me to design their new line of iFly jumbo jets. Just think, someday you'll be able to take a ride in my pink-walled, yellow-seated jet. That actually sounds kind of heat. Pink wall, yellow seats? Hold on. In a jet? Oh, not this idiot. Edgeworth, that rudeness of a rude man. Because of him, my time and money is wasted. But more importantly, I received a most fantastic treasure recently. The Primoduc statue of the Principality of Cadopia. Oh, that's nice. It weighs a bit light in my hands, but the Ambassador Paliano was most generous. Oh, they gave him the fake. We finally caught Agent Hicks' killer, and I was able to witness Mr. Alba's teary eyes. It feels good to finally bring everything to a close. I received another offer from Interpol to work another case in cooperation with them. However, the Cadopian courts await. Alright. Cadopia's air is supposed to be very fresh, so my whip should find new vigor there. One thing I really want to see is I want to see fucking Franziska get a hold of fucking Vampire Killer. Mike. So the patrolman has been fired as of today, sir. No, Mike! I thought I was safe since we found the gun I had dropped. But I hadn't noticed that I dropped my police badge. Mike. This that really broke the camel's back is when I couldn't find my badge. My little life has suddenly tripped into a dark black hole, sir. I think I'll go to the courthouse and file a complaint with Ruffles Man. Ruffles Man? Never let Meekins and Larry meet. I assume if you have Mike Meekins and fucking Larry Butts in the same case, the courtroom just explodes. Emma. I was actually hoping to talk with Mr. Edgeworth a bit more than I did, but I've got to get going and return to Europe. I've still got a long way to go and a lot of stuff to study there. Next time I'll help Mr. Edgeworth on a case, I'm going to do it as a real forensic scientist. I'm sure he's going to need all the help I can give him scientifically. Yes, you and your snackoos will be needed later. It's Lauren Pops. Because the kidnapping was staged, I was let off easy. But I won't be going outside anytime soon, but that's really okay. The only prison I'm forever trapped in is the cage of love. The guard down at the detention center, well, when he's on guard duty, he has such a cold look in his eyes, just like that prosecutor. No. Stop it, Lauren. She belonged to the streets. Did anyone ever mention the fact this is going to be an Emma game and decided to make an Edgeworth due to its popularity? Yes, we did talk about that a lot. It appears that there are all sorts of drama taking place outside of the courtroom. Since we judges are here day in and day out, I've only heard a few rumors, but apparently Mr. Edgeworth teamed up with a thief and became a detective. Maybe I should team up with a bailiff and try to become a lawyer or something. It's sort of funny. It's funny that they sort of keep that idea by making Emma like Edgeworth more than Phoenix. Or like Edgeworth more than Phoenix, yeah. Maggie. Barely escaped death yet again. And Gumshoe, but we were lucky to have Mr. Edgeworth help us out, huh? Yeah, but because I lost the key, I got fired from my security guard job. I'll let it get you down, Maggie. You still got me. You're right, sir. I won't be sad. I'm going to pick myself up and get through this. I wonder what my next job should be. Ooh, this is actually kind of fun. Who else do we have, other than the specific case people? Because I assume they're going to show Paliano. There he is. When I come to Godopia for your summer vacation, we have coupons aplenty. Right now, our embassy is proud to present our Let's Investigate a Murder show. Although recreating that particular case has created a few small fires of its own. Then we had a few problems with the fire marshals, but the next event will be great. It will be an attraction entitled Capture the Yatagarasu. Of course, I hope to in this case help in creating our latest attraction. He really was one of the most helpful witnesses. Yeah, it's actually really surprising. Larry Butts. I can't believe that Mindy ditched me and went to Japan. But it's okay, because that's how I met Miharu. No! I'm planning to go to Paris soon and start a business. Going to sell Blue Ocean dogs. They'll sell like hotcake hot dogs for sure. Blue hot dog and a blue bun, I guarantee it'll turn your tongue and face blue. I know I'm not really the type to work a lot, or at all really, but... Oh, so I noticed that I really haven't seen the guy in a blue suit at all recently. I wonder what's up. Well, the next time we meet, I'm going to make him eat one of my dogs. The guy who should not be named at all in this game. Lang or... Ah, bad, okay. Today you give testimony in court today as a member of the Yatagarasu. Ah, Lang as well. You look well, all things considered. By the way, have you noticed that elements within the ring have begun moving? They're probably fighting over who should succeed, over who should be the next boss. Although, to be honest, I wish I could forget I ever heard of that smuggling ring. Lang Zi says, thoroughly bite the poisonous snake from head to tail. No one runs afoul of the law and escapes this wolf's fangs. I'll get you all yet. Ah, youth. When did I become so old, I wonder? I've begun noticing the gray hairs in my beard more. Thinking of retiring my mirror. Imagine people got into the series of this game. Who are they talking about? Who is this man in the blue suit? Who is Edgeworth talking about when he says him? No. Don't. Pink Princess and the Pink Badger all in the span of 2 days. Talk about busy. But it's alright because I got a letter from my beloved Edgipoo. Please take care of your hip, and when you wish to speak, first take off your headpiece. What does he mean by that last statement? It's not like I enjoy being under a headpiece every time I see him. I've been an alien, sometimes creep from Pink Animal, Pink Princess, Great Hero of Justice. Okay. Can't keep up with that. We don't have anybody left though, right? Epilogue time. March 17th, 4:33 p.m. Wait, that happened the same day as the case? We're all back in here after we fucking dusted Alba in the courtroom. We got him in the courtroom, went in and out in less than 2 hours. That nigga got smoked. Holy shit. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. Oh, I feel so much better now that the trial's over. It was 11? No, it was like 2. If I remember correctly, it was like 2. It might have been 11. But I thought it was 2. Either way, that nigga got smoked in court. And as always, your legal prowess was top-notch, sir. Yeah, nothing beat the look on Mr. Alba's face when you revealed the ring's secrets. I was amazed. You're like a totally different person when you step into a courtroom. Mr. Edgeworth is always 10 times fiercer in court. Based on the information Mr. Alba offered up, they've begun large-scale operations to clean up the rest of the ring, which I'm happy to leave to Franziska and Agent Lang. Although, one thing I kind of really wish that they would have done is, for the ending of this game, it shouldn't have been the investigation phase. Lang should have revoked or gotten his diplomatic immunity revoked, and we should have taken him to court here. And then the last, like, N2 and N3 of this game should have just been fucking Edgeworth cooking up in the courthouse against some random low-tier defense attorney. That's what should have happened. That would have been fire. So what are your plans now, Kay? Oh, well, we've taken care of the creep who killed my father, so I'm not sure. Hey, I know. Maybe I'll just keep on being Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Are you still trying to steal my job, pal? Just kidding, just kidding. I can't steal something that's so important to you, Gummy. Oh, what a relief. Okay. Yes? Even after all that's happened, are you still planning to become a great thief? Of course. But I don't want to tarnish the legend of the noble Yatagarasu, so I'm going to hold off on doing anything until I make a tight 3-person team of my own. A 3-person team? No. A 3-person team of young beauties. Okay. Oof. Same age as me, if possible. With those criteria, I highly doubt you'll find the other two people you need. My father chose to fight for the truth. I think that's what's so noble about it. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, the only things I will ever steal are the truths that have been hidden away. I'm going to work extra hard to make a world where the Yatagarasu isn't needed. Let's both strive for such a future. Well, I guess it's time for me to get going. I see. Do you have like a home? Where do you live? Okay, keep your chin up and stay strong, okay? And don't be a stranger. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be sure to break the lock on the window and sneak in. If you could, I'd appreciate it if you came in through the building's front door. It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. The lock on my window at home has been broken forever. Oh, one last thing before I go. Let's take a group picture, just the 3 of us. Yeah, commemorative photo. Every big case has to end with one. No. Hey, why not? Don't tell me you're camera shy, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course not, Detective. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm taking the picture now. Hey, come back here. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't run away from this, sir. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Stuff that. I can't be seen doing that. Smiling? Yeah, no. We can't see him smile. What does the picture look like? And thus the long tale of the KG-8 incident came to a close. It saw the demise of a smuggling ring and the birth of a little great thief. But there is little time to rest and relax, for I am eager to tackle the investigation into a new case. The reason for my eagerness is my want to pursue the truth and my want to believe in the strength of those who use the power of the law for good. As someone who has chosen to live my life as a prosecutor, that is my new creed. Yeah, can't have Ezra smiling. Let go of my cravat, damn it. That's a good picture, though. done. So that was Ace Attorney Investigations. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit more digging tonight. Like I said, when I started this game up for the first time, uh, I was able to find, or I was able to get the mobile version, and the mobile version's been ported to English, right? So it's available in the Play Store. It's available in the App Store. You can buy the game and you can play it. But with Investigations 2, Japan only release. The patch is out for the DS version. Patch is not out for the mobile version. So the quality will go a bit down, but we are going to be starting it up. I will be working on getting that, and hopefully we start it tomorrow. But Capcom patch? No, no, no. It's a fan patch. Capcom wouldn't patch shit for nothing. Uh yeah, so I was able to find the fan translation for the DS version, but not the mobile version. So yes, we will be playing the DS version. We will be going through with that. So actually, I've got an interesting question for y'all, and it's going to be it's going to be a stream poll. Because I can also get the mobile version of this game. And with this game, we can play it on mobile. But we won't be able to play the second one. Keep in mind, I'm not saying I have a bias. I would like to play AI too. The Ancestor games will be pushed to back burner, but we will play them eventually. What is DGS? The Great Ace Attorney. It is a story of Phoenix Wright's ancestor. DGS2 translation is still in the works. I know. I've been checking the place that I was looking for the the Investigations 2 patch are the people that are working on the DGS2 translation. But it's whatever. Forget that. When's Ace Attorney 7? Excellent question. Ask Capcom. I know people have been talking about the praises. Can you get AI 2 on 3DS or only DS? I do not know what it's on. Let me look it up real quick. I know it was a DS game, but I don't know if it got ported to 3DS. Yeah, great. I search it up and then I get fucking Reddit results for a critique. Damn bastards. Alright, so definitely AAI 2. It was like, so was Apollo Justice and I could buy that. That's why I was asking. Yeah, yeah. That's fair. Thinking you play it on English and emulator, maybe custom firmware 3DS. Yeah, so more than likely we'll be playing the DS version just because I have now. Here, let me actually show you. I can show you better than I can tell you, right? No, fucking I need to bring the buttons out. That's what it is. I have it right here, see? Ace Attorney Investigations 2. I click that bitch to launch it. Japanese. And more Japanese I cannot read. So I have Investigations 2. I cannot launch Investigations 2. And that's the big problem, right? Also, as a heads up, have a button for the mic. It'll prevent awkwardness later. Oh boy. Do you have to use the mic in investigations too? Because that sounds tragic. I don't want to have to use the mic. But like I said, I'll get to work on getting that ready for tonight, or for tomorrow rather. But there is the possibility that I don't have it ready for tomorrow, in which case just take a look at either on my Twitter or in the Discord, just so that you guys know. It's more than likely going to be tomorrow, but in case I can't get everything working, we'll be taking a break tomorrow. But with that, I'd like to thank you all very much for coming out. And next time I will be seeing you with investigations too. But until then, I'll have to catch you guys later. Peace.